This is the Macho Man Randy Savage telling you to watch. Don't watch it. You listen with your ears to the One Fall Podcast. Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the 1-4 podcast. I am the overweight cruiserweight, Jamie Bell. Alongside me, the proverbial Crimson Mask, James Coggin.
Howdy.
And of course, the sexy ass lottery, Mr. Callum McKinns. Start that again,
I'm sorry,
This is totally going in the blooper
He called me
reel.
Colin McKinns, but I told him to keep recording because I need to get this out there. It's Colin McInnes.
It is Callum McInnes.
I get Colin Machines, Colin McKines, Colin McKinns, and Colin McGuinness, and none of them are acceptable.
Callum Machines.
It's
Where's
Colin
Machines come
Yeah,
from?
I went to see Sooty when I was 5, and Matthew Corbett called me up in the crowd because it was my birthday, and he said, "Oh, Colin Machines, come to the stage."
Boom.
It's Colin McInnes.
There you go.
I know it's Callum McInnes. I don't know why I said that.
Telling Sooty how it is.
Yes. I cried.
Oh no. No.
So, there's your first blooper reel for the podcast anyway.
Yeah,
Me
so we're
totally
keeping that
fucking
in.
up with your name, which I do know. I do apologise.
Let you go of this one.
We should have edited that.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Why are we here?
we are here to discuss our love and passion for the world of professional wrestling. So, I'm going to throw it out there right now for our 3 count. Ric Flair.
The biggest news of the week.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know what to say about it. I'm heartbroken. I mean, I hope he pulls through. It's what was the last update? I mean, I heard
He's in a stable condition.
Yeah, as of recording, he's in a stable condition, but what it all stemmed from, was it routine? It's supposedly routine checks on his heart, and then the next thing you know, he's been put in a medically induced coma to undergo surgery.
he had colon surgery. I think it was.
Well,
I heard he had colon surgery, but I've got his book, if you read his autobiography, he says he has a heart-related issue he's had for a long time.
Right.
It's all very scary stuff.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Definitely.
Very scary,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, Jesus. It's Nitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
it.
if there's anyone who can get through this, it's Ric Flair.
I mean, well, that's it. It's what is it? He's 68.
68.
68 now. Like, and he's so how is he still going? That's like unprecedented for a professional wrestler.
He's lived that lifestyle.
And
none of it was
he
a
wasn't
gimmick.
a gimmick.
No, it wasn't.
No.
He was Ric Flair.
Absolutely.
He was.
Through and through, he was
He
the
was no
nature boy.
gimmick.
That's
Because
it.
you know, the minute he's out of his hospital bed, he's going to come walking out this door.
Straight out,
Yeah.
Woo!
straight into the bar.
Straight to the bar.
Yeah.
Pay
Yeah.
for everybody else's
Pay for
tabs.
everybody's
Yeah.
tabs, yeah. Couple of waitresses
Yeah.
upstairs to the hotel room to
Yeah.
Hard Space Mountain.
But yeah, it took me by surprise, to be honest with you. I mean, when I first saw the news, I think it was on Reddit, I saw the name Ric Flair hospitalised, and I thought the worst straight away.
Yeah.
But
Can't lose
It-
Nitch.
we can't lose Nitch.
We've lost too many.
Yeah,
Can't lose Nitch.
that's it. But
He's the one who'll never die. You can't.
Him and Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
I think the thing that upsets me more about this is the fact that if anything awful happens and for whatever freak reason he doesn't pull through, Hulk Hogan will have outlived Ric Flair, and I fucking hate Hulk Hogan.
That's not okay.
I hate Hulk Hogan with a passion.
Why? I was thinking that actually. Why couldn't it be Hulk Hogan? Because if it was Hulk Hogan who was hospitalised, right? If it was Hulk Hogan in the hospital, I don't even think it would have made the 3 count this week.
Whoa! Are we not wrestling fans here?
I am a wrestling.
He's still
I'm
Hulk
a wrestling fan. I'm not
Hogan.
a Hulk Hogan fan.
Yeah, that's it.
Brother.
It's all right. He doesn't have to worry about anything. He's going to live forever with all of his Gawker money.
Yeah.
Well, this is true. On a personal level, I've met both Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan, and they are both lovely, lovely.
One's a lovely person, Ric Flair, and the other's a horrible racist.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was a nice guy though, and he too-sweeted me, and he called me brother. So
He didn't know what too sweet was.
No.
No, actually, I saw a tweet from Hulk Hogan before saying he wanted to be in the Bullet Club.
What?
Yeah, he was trying to pitch himself into the Bullet Club.
Amazing. Who was running Bullet Club at the time?
It was AJ Styles.
Really?
Yes. I
Oh
see,
my
Hogan
God.
having creative control over the Bullet Club.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
AJ's not an idiot. Well, that's a story for another day. But he's worked with him in TNA.
Yes.
Like, so he immediately was just like, nope.
You can just tell Hogan was thinking it's kind of like the NWO, Which means I must be the boss of it.
Get heat in Japan, brother. That's what he's thinking.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put the belt on me.
Oh, imagine that. Hulk Hogan is the
He would want the belt.
IWGP champion.
Creative control. It in his contract that he gets the belt, right? You know this.
Wait, didn't he? Because he went over to Japan after his initial Fed run, didn't
I think
he?
it was-
Did he go...
Quote me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was all Japan that he wrestled in.
Right.
And he did actually have some very good matches there for Hulk Hogan. He was putting on some technical masterpieces, some would say.
Really?
Yeah, he was doing Fujiwara arm bars. He was doing leg locks, all the stuff you never saw him doing.
Different style,
in
though,
WWE.
is actually.
Yeah,
Different
doing
style.
strong style.
Yeah.
Different style.
Hulk Hogan doing
Different style.
the artist Hulk Hogan.
Let's not.
The artist. We'll call him the artist.
Hulk Hogan.
Let's not go there with the artist. That's an old story now. We don't want to set me off.
And bringing it back, Ric Flair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before we go on a Hulk Hogan tangent, which I'm sure will happen every week
Oh god.
at some point, but Ric Flair, obviously, we want you to get better.
Yeah,
And
like well wishes.
Thoughts and prayers with you, but yeah, it's took me by surprise.
Yeah, we love Nate. The
Yeah.
wrestling world wouldn't be the same without Nate.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
No
so
way.
here's to the jet flying, wheeler dealing, kiss stealing,
Limousine riding.
limousine riding, bad man of wrestling.
Son of a gun.
getting better soon.
And
Sooner
let's
rather
not
than
forget
later.
that man himself came to Hull Ice Arena
Yes.
in 2004.
Oh, never.
2005.
2005 was it?
Get it right.
Did you go?
I was there.
I was there.
Ric Flair and Triple H versus Batista.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, was
Yeah.
that
Yeah, it
was
was.
on Raw came
was
to
there.
Hull, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Ric Flair has been to Hull Ice Arena.
Yeah.
Just let that sink in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's never been the same since.
Let that sink in.
Yeah. I love it.
So
But we all want Nate to get well. Because he's Ric fucking Flair, man.
absolutely.
Greatest of all time.
Speaking of the greatest of all time now, I want to talk about Baron Corbin for a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Because this week on SmackDown, he cashed in and he got pinned by Jinder Mahal in 3 seconds.
He did. I think the match was officially 5 seconds
Was
long.
it 5 seconds?
I think it was officially
Shortest
5
WWE
seconds
title
long.
match of all time.
That arguably is even shorter than when Nash squashed
Backlund.
Backlund for the title at the house. That house show.
That was 8 seconds, wasn't it? I think
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine reading that headline 3 years ago. Jinder Mahal beats Baron
And
Corbin.
Corbin in world title match.
Yeah, in 5 seconds.
Like
Record
that's
setting,
just
yeah.
inconceivable. Yeah,
I mean-
3MB member retains world title.
Against unknown NXT
Yeah,
rookie.
that's it. It's like the most baffling situation that
Well,
that anyone could have seen
Imagine
coming.
reading this a year ago, where Jinder Mahal versus Shinsuke Nakamura for WWE title at SummerSlam,
Yeah, as one of the marquee matches.
and none of them were of the company last year.
No, that's it. It is one of those. Well, I think it's got the same kind of weight as when there was the huge overhaul in NXT and Triple H announced, was it Itami, Zayn, Balor, Owens had all signed for NXT, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, this is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It was AJ Nakamura coming over, Itami, like you said. Everyone just came over at once.
Yeah.
And it was so surreal.
Yeah, complete game changer, and it was a much needed roster kind of switch up.
Yeah.
But it's still. How did we end up going down that path for only a short period of time to get to Jinder Mahal, multi retaining
Yeah.
world champion?
I think I speak for us all. It's the dream match we all wanted to see when Shinsuke signed.
Oh,
We
definitely.
all wanted to
definitely,
see
definitely.
yeah.
big match Jinder versus
Oh, that's it.
Shinsuke
Yeah,
Nakamura.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Absolutely. My mind still boggles.
Yeah.
I literally, I cannot put my finger on Jinder Mahal being champion. It still doesn't seem real to me.
Well,
It's like I'm in fucking Bizarro land or something.
Yeah.
Or it's
when I saw him at WrestleMania, only 4 months ago, was it? 4 months ago?
Yeah,
He had a drink thrown in his face by Gronk, or whatever his
yeah,
name
he
was.
did. Yeah,
And he
in the
lost
Battle
that
Royal.
match, yeah.
he did.
And he was an afterthought.
He lost it. He lost it to
Mojo Rawley.
Mojo Rawley. I almost forgot. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Zack
That's how
Ryder.
low down the card he was.
yeah. Where the fuck's he?
He's out with an injury, isn't he?
Is he injured again?
I want to say he's out with an
Oh,
injury.
Mojo.
No.
No.
Not Ryder again. I
Ryder.
thought he came back.
then maybe there are.
That's why, you see, it was trying to reshuffle the main event picture.
Well,
Mojo gets injured. Oh, I guess Jinder's going up to the top then.
This annoys
That's what's happening.
So you're saying the push was for Mojo.
That's it. That's exactly
This
it.
annoys me with SmackDown though. Like Mojo and Zack Ryder, you're not seeing for weeks. Luke Harper should be getting TV time. You know, it's all these guys, and we're pushing Jinder fucking Mahal to the moon.
And guess who's not getting pushed? Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
He had the money in the bank. He was a future world champion.
Am I reading backstage heat or they're not?
Oh yeah, that's apparently massive backstage heat because of how he's been acting on Twitter.
Right, and I heard
He's
it was,
awesome
it was,
on Twitter.
But I heard it was also to do with how he is on the mic. Apparently, his back and forth with Cena was like, you can't go toe to toe the way that we hoped you can. And obviously, a big part of being a world champion.
Supposedly,
yeah, that's it.
What I don't get about that is they apparently script the promos to the word, and when they go off subject, that's when they get punished. So how is he meant to go toe to toe with Cena when they've scripted him to say that anyway?
Yeah.
And my ass is Cena scripted.
Do you think he is?
No way.
No, not a chance.
He is not scripted. He's probably given bullet points, discuss this. He's not scripted.
He is arguably one of the most comfortable performers I've ever seen on a mic in a WWE ring.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Easily.
Currently along with The Miz, in my opinion.
Oh,
Just to
yeah,
throw that out there.
The Miz is...
personally rank The Miz above John Cena.
I say this all the time, The Miz is gold.
On the mic.
Yeah.
In the ring, Cena's one of the greatest of all time. But
And he's fantastic on the mic.
and he's great on the mic. The Miz is one of the greatest on the mic
He's awesome.
ever. he just gets it.
Yeah.
I get so excited when we have Miz TV and The Miz as a microphone. I love it. I just love to hear what he's going to say. I think he's better than The Rock. I'm going to throw it out there.
Yeah. That's
a
A
bold
bold
I mean,
claim.
The Rock's just cheesy catchphrases and I love The Rock, but it's just cheesy catchphrases and
Well,
you know,
true, but then you also argue The Miz doesn't have any catchphrases per se apart from "I'm the Miz and I'm awesome."
Yeah.
And that hasn't been relevant.
quiet.
when my
Is
hand
that-
goes up, your mouth goes shut.
All right, are any of those catchphrases or taglines going to be printed on shirts?
I'm the Miz and I'm awesome. I have the T-shirt in that cupboard.
Which is the one that I said, which is from 10 years ago.
Okay, so he's got 3 catchphrases.
And one of them is viable.
No
as
autographs,
merch.
please.
No autographs, please.
I've got that on a T-shirt.
I'd wear that T-shirt when my hand goes up. You know?
Yeah, I would.
I'd totally wear that T-shirt.
I'm sure he must. Wait a minute. How did we get from Baron Corbin cashing in to how many Miz quotes you can get on T-shirts?
Well, I guess that's the nature of this podcast, really, isn't it?
So I like that. But
The Miz sort of blares the lines
He
between
does.
is he shooting or is it, you know?
the Miz is always shooting somewhere. I think.
Yeah, but-
Shooting from the hip.
Yeah.
I think back to Baron Corbin, sorry, who I'm a massive mark for. This kind of really pissed me off. It was like,
Yeah,
What the fuck?
and it's surprising as well because the reaction that he got from the crowd, the initial attack of boo boo, everybody was expecting a clean win from Cena over the champion, which arguably could have caused a hell of a lot of friction in terms of like the hierarchy of Jinder's the champion, he's getting beaten by someone who's in a mid-card match, all that kind of stuff, even though it's John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon they could have played it off as Corbin's got heat with Cena, he's going to come out, he's going to batter both of them because he's going to prove he's better than Cena and he's going to prove he can beat Mahal.
Yeah.
But then as soon as he walked up to the ramp, everyone's giving him boos, all that, and then he turns around, he looks at the case, and then everyone's eyes glint up like, oh, here we go. That was awesome. But why did they only do that in a small capacity venue that holds SmackDown? Why? They could have had that glint, that magic, if you'd have done that in the main event of like the SmackDown title at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Baffling. That response times 5.
was it a way to
Absolutely.
punish him?
Unfortunately.
Arguably, and this is the thing though as well. He's cashed it in and lost. It's a very decisive stripping of a push. It's not he's putting the briefcase on the line, and then someone else has the opportunity to then do it. It's not passing a push to someone else. It's no. If you can't do it, no one does. It's like taking your ball and going home.
Yes,
it's so dismissive. It does
It
make
drives
me
me nuts to
wonder.
hear about all this stupid backstage politics all the time.
Right, Baron Corbin has been the same for the last few months, right? His mic skills haven't increased or anything, I believe, right?
Nothing, they're
So
bad.
no, they're not bad.
not
But what I
bad.
mean is, when they put the briefcase on him the first time, it's not like he's any better now. So why are they only just realising now that, like, oh, we don't like his mic skills, we don't like his in-ring skills, he's too green? Surely they realised that before. It just seems like such a wasted opportunity.
Yeah, and it's not like he's going to have a bad match against Cena at SummerSlam anyway. If anything, that's going to lift him up. Whether he wins or he loses, he's going in a match, arguably a marquee match, because it's Cena, at SummerSlam, the second biggest pay-per-view of the year. You can't lose. Cena is an amazing storyteller, and Corbin is a powerhouse of a wrestler. Like, there's no doubt in his... I hated him in NXT. Like, he was a slow burn for me. It took me a long time for me to be invested in him. And I was feeling it. I was feeling it. This past, maybe year, just over a year, I was like, yep, I'm feeling it. This guy, he's got something. It might be his signature moves. It's just, he's very aware of, like, what he can and can't do. He's not a big, tall guy trying to do power moves because he's not strong.
He's
not trying to
authentic as well.
Yeah, he's not trying to gorilla press people. It's just, no, I used to play American football. I know what I can and can't do, so I'm just going to batter people the way I know how.
I'm here for the money.
I'm here to kick ass, get a paycheck, be nobody's friend, fuck off.
And that's the thing as well. How can they argue that he's got bad mic skills when on Talking Smack? That's exactly the type of promo he's cutting. I don't care, pay me my money, and I'll beat people up.
Yeah.
Amazing gimmick.
Yeah. What more do you need?
And now they're complaining about that.
Yeah.
It's typical WWE.
Yeah.
It's the powers that be, innit? It's probably Kevin fucking Dunn. Baron Corbin's probably not pretty enough or something.
Bucky tooth motherfucker.
Yeah, probably not pretty enough for TV, or he's fucking too bald or something. I fucking.
The only way they can redeem
I hope you're listening to this, Kevin Dunn, you prick.
He is. The only way they can redeem it is if he beats Cena.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't beat Cena, then where the fuck does he go?
It's completely reduced him to. He might as well be in NXT.
Yeah.
You've undone everything that he had built and worked towards. Even looking back as far as Elimination Chamber, he was pinned first, but then he went on a tirade and battered Ambrose.
Yeah.
You know, he just big booting everyone, punishing everyone. He made Ambrose lose and like take the next fall. So it was the same as Kevin Nash and the same as some of the Elimination Chamber is like just someone just gets pinned real early and then they just batter everyone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that kind of a thing. And you're like, no, that's a good way to kind of like. Well, obviously it's a heel.
You look strong still in defeat.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I always said, to me, it reminds me of like SmackDown's version of Braun Strowman.
Yeah, it is. It's just they've kept them on separate shows now, and that's fantastic because we're going to build them on different shows, and one day they'll collide again. It'll be a big match: Baron Corbin versus Braun Strowman.
Yeah,
but
so why are they complaining about Corbin not being to the level that they want when they've built Strowman from the ground up and he's become this behemoth of a character who I absolutely love? You're trying to mimic the same thing on SmackDown. Why are you pulling the rug from underneath him?
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, he will lose at SummerSlam to Cena. If this is the D push, he's going to lose to Cena. There's nowhere there if he's going over Cena on Sunday.
No, unless it's shenanigans or like by DQ or something daft.
This will be the start now of him being D pushed. You watch.
Yeah. But it's so stupid because I mean, if
it sucks, it's fucking stupid. It is.
But it's not even just that as well, because now you got me thinking as well. Like Corbin, he's a physically imposing guy, but he's not as physically imposing as Strowman, who is a behemoth. He is a giant. Like
he actually is a monster among men.
Strowman, like Corbin is big, but Strowman is a powerlifter. He is gargantuan in size. He can. For all intents and purposes, he can flip ambulances. Yeah. Apparently,
he's a mountain from Game of Thrones.
He is the embodiment of that. Corbin, he's not been through like last man standing matches, getting himself battered, like getting crashed in ambulances and then crawling out. So they'd have to build him in another way. He's like this conniving, heel, because if you're gonna have them both come up the roster at the same pace and be like opposing sides of the same coin, they're not the same person.
They're not, and I believe it's because Strowman's been given a fantastic rival in Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns, he can disagree with it or not, he has made Braun Strowman.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. His rival made him.
I could watch these two fight for the rest of the year.
They've helped each other so much. But who has Corbin had?
No one.
Yeah. And you could argue that's because the SmackDown roster's quite thin.
Yeah, it is quite
and
shallow.
It's a shame. But so, why not? if they're de-pushing Corbin, why don't you push Harper?
Yeah, but then the same would happen with Harper. You know it would. It just seems one of those things.
You know what I like with Luke Harper.
Yeah,
I'm a Luke Harper man. The guy is phenomenal.
I
a big man.
I think he is fantastic.
Yeah,
absolutely fantastic.
He can go.
And he was over.
Yeah,
he was over.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you don't see him on TV. I'm still calling it him and Rowan are the ones attacking Breezango.
Do you reckon?
I hope so.
I think he's going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping it's gone on for so long. I want to find out now.
Yeah.
You know, I appreciate the fact that they're building it, but it's now time to.
I think we'll find out at SummerSlam.
I hope so.
Which is ironically our next point.
Yeah. SummerSlam weekend.
One of our favourite weekends. Let's start with TakeOver. I'm just as excited for TakeOver as I am SummerSlam.
TakeOver is usually the one to beat, isn't it?
Knocks out the park.
Usually they have a fantastic card, and they usually have like a match on TakeOver which blows anything that SummerSlam does out the water.
Which I think is going to be Aleister Black and Hideo Itami.
Yeah, that's a potential show.
I think this is a time he needs to step it up for this, you know, because he hasn't had the best start, has he? Injuries.
Well, it's been stop start
It has,
all the way.
I think Itami, I'm liking the heel turn.
Yeah.
I think he needs to pull it out of the hat now. I don't think he's going over, but I think this could be the match of the night.
I think he should go over, and I think he should come straight up to SmackDown or Raw in the next shake-up.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. He's been wasted. Well, it's not been wasted. It's not WWE's fault or his fault, but he needs to get out of development before it happens again.
All the steam that his name recognition as Kenta has
absolutely.
just like completely dissolved since he's been shelved. It's a real shame.
If he gets injured in development now for another year, he might as
He'll
well
get
just call it.
released.
Yeah, that's it. He might as well retire. Yeah.
But Aleister Black, I think they've got something special in mind for him. The way he's been portrayed, he's undefeated. I don't see him losing to Itami on Saturday.
But at some point he has to lose before he becomes a
I just don't think he's going to be
undefeated wrestler. And I think the perfect person to beat him is Itami, because Itami's capable and he won't look weak in a defeat against him. But also, Itami needs a win, a big win.
Yeah,
he's
Itami
got more to lose if he loses.
Unless he loses and then does the post-match beatdown and it becomes like one of those real brutal things.
Yeah.
Where the talking point is how vicious he is after the fact. Because I'm trying to think, and I am imagining that there is going to be some incredible trade-offs and some awesome technical stuff happening in ring.
Strong style.
Yeah, but my big thing.
What's strong style?
Aleister Black is a tall guy. Itami isn't. He goes for the GTS. Aleister's just going to stand up. He's going to have him on his shoulders and he's just going to lean back and he's going to be on his feet.
Yeah.
He gets him in the the slingshot big boot and he's down. So what could Itami pull out the bag unless he's going to be doing his double stomps off the top rope and all
the
of
running
these.
knee that Daniel Bryan used.
Yeah, that's it's that kind of stuff. He's going to have to catch Black off guard because he, as far as I can tell, Black's got his number when it comes to the GTS, which I love seeing. It's a full-on mark-out move, but
yeah, I can see it now. Actually, he's got him up in the first sleep, throws him off. Black stands there and hits the Black Mass.
Yeah, that's it. It kind of writes itself, and it would be a very awesome way of kind of having him lose. Like he's there on the cusp, but it's just not enough because he's the wrong kind of person. And then you could argue like, oh well, then the beatdown is he does every other move that he has. He's real vicious, and then he does a running knee. Then he does a running knee again. He does a running knee again, and then he grabs a mic and he's like, "This is how I keep you down." Like you don't even need to grab a mic. It's that kind of thing. Like if I can't beat with a GTS, I'm going to beat with something else, and I'm going to beat you badly.
I would like to see that, a ruthless side to Itami. Makes it.
Maybe it's what he needs. Maybe
comes up to the roster.
I think the heel turns come at the perfect time for him.
Yeah.
Because it was going.
Well, I think it's from a real place. It's real frustration.
It is frustration. It is
100%.
I genuinely think that could be the match of the night for TakeOver.
Well, the main event of TakeOver is Rude
against
versus
Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre.
Oh,
that's
snap.
it.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm quite hazy with the TakeOver.
Yeah, likewise.
lineup.
I've seen NXT on and off recently, and it's like Rude's got a different opponent every week. He's got Roderick Strong,
Yeah,
Drew
that's
McIntyre,
it. Yeah.
and it moves so fast nowadays.
Well, the NXT that just passed was Strong against McIntyre.
That's right. Yeah.
There's like some weird kind of psychological. Oh well, if McIntyre doesn't beat Rude, then it's going to be Strong.
Well, if Strong beats McIntyre, Strong gets a title shot after.
Yeah, that was the.
That's confusing, isn't it?
Yeah. So you preemptively
booking
building.
for you.
Yeah.
you're preemptively
Let's
building for
confuse the
something, but
fans.
then you could argue. I mean, because again, I haven't seen the results from NXT, so I don't know what the outcome is. Let's say Strong beats McIntyre, but McIntyre's still got the match coming up. If McIntyre beats Rude is entitled to his title shot, but Strong's entitled to a title shot. So does that mean that the next week or the next main event is going to be a triple threat?
Well,
because you've got two people entitled to a
I thought they
title
were going
match.
to make it a triple threat at TakeOver.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
I really did. Part of me still don't know, but somehow can see it happening at TakeOver. I don't know, it probably won't.
I think it's too
That's
late now.
wow. Yeah,
It's-
changing it. On
It's
the
WWE
card,
booking, innit? You know,
Yeah,
it's, you know.
changing the main event as it happens. You know, it's not WrestleMania 2000. It's not.
It's going to be a good
Man in
match.
every
I think.
corner.
That's it.
Drew McIntyre, I think there's a very good chance he's winning the title.
Well, I had the one Rude on the main roster before the end of the year, so I can see. I think McIntyre's getting the belt.
So the shake-up comes and Rude comes up to the main roster.
Raw or SmackDown?
SmackDown.
SmackDown for me.
SmackDown for me.
Yeah,
Yeah, good.
we all agree.
Yeah, it's the perfect place for him.
Hey, Corbin could feud with Rude.
Corbin and Rude.
Yeah.
Or they'll make Corbin his bodyguard.
Yeah.
You watch. Watch. I've got an idea. You'd be his bodyguard.
No, Rude's coming up to the main roster, definitely.
I hope SmackDown, because to me SmackDown's a more wrestling show, and I think Bobby Roode's a phenomenal in-ring performer. He's phenomenal all around, but I just feel he suits SmackDown.
Raw's got a lot of main event talent and very good main event
Oh
talent.
yeah, I just
And
feel
I think
Roode's.
SmackDown's just got a whole, which is the perfect shape of Bobby Roode.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's it.
Yeah,
He
you
want to
could-
be the face of SmackDown.
You need to get somebody like Bobby Roode over. You put him over on SmackDown, and even if like you could argue, oh, he doesn't have that many people to feud with, the Fed are getting a lot better at keeping very thin lingerings of storylines kind of in place. So you could argue, oh well, he could feud Shinsuke because they had a grudge match for the title
Yeah.
in NXT. There's that holdover. Then there's more attention to NXT. It's like in the Rumble that's just gone when Bray Wyatt stopped Xavier Woods and Xavier Woods was all mesmerised. They didn't have to keep that going,
No.
but it was a touch of genius because
Yeah.
look, characters.
Yeah,
they
we-
had
Yeah.
directions
We live for that,
previously.
don't we? We
Yeah.
live
Yeah.
for that.
We
That-
do.
That's what we like, when they have continuity in the
Yeah.
story. I know it's a lot to ask for
Yeah.
in modern day
Yeah.
wrestling,
Yeah.
but continuity in
Yeah.
storylines,
That's all you want.
just give me that anything.
That's all you want.
know, it's what was it?
You have 3 hours of Raw, and you have Brock Lesnar, and you see him once.
Yeah.
Standing in a ring, jumping up and down
when he
while
was
Paul
still in the
Heyman
ring with
talks.
Kurt Angle, and they mentioned the matches that they'd had. Even then, I was like, oh my god, the reference to the
Yeah.
matches they
Yeah,
had.
that's it. They could have so easily have just ignored that. And I'm
Yeah.
like, the Angle made Lesnar. Like, Taker and Angle made Lesnar like
Yeah.
what he is in wrestling. Like, you have to reference that in
It's
some
like
way.
it's like they insult your intelligence sometimes, and it's like, I don't remember that, you know. Let's just, forget that ever happened.
And it happened last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're wrestling fans. We don't forget, you know.
We've all got the network. It's,
Yeah.
it's just a click away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're all we don't forget this shit.
More than ever, we can access anything that they've ever recorded,
Yeah.
and they expect us to forget. So,
Well, they're stupid then, aren't they?
no, that's
Because we don't
debatable.
forget.
It's because we're all stupid marks.
We
We
are.
are.
We are marks. God
Nothing-
damn it.
Nothing wrong with being a mark.
No, but I've lost my trail of thought now. What was we actually talking about?
SummerSlam.
Bobby Roode.
Yeah, Bobby Roode.
Bobby Roode.
Right. That's it.
I genuinely think Bobby Roode goes to SmackDown. He will elevate SmackDown to the Edge level.
Do you think he could be the
I
new Edge?
think he could be the new Edge of SmackDown.
That is a
Right.
huge.
We
When
need,
you think it's
we need a sound effect for Jamie's bold claim of the week, because
Yeah.
you've already made two. Now,
I've
you
made
said
one.
The Miz is better than The Rock on
Yeah,
the mic,
promos, yeah.
and Bobby Roode will take SmackDown to the Edge level.
I think he will.
That's
I think he's that good. Because you think of SmackDown, I don't know. Well, I think of SmackDown. I think Edge.
yeah,
Right?
SmackDown 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
SmackDown 6.
I think Bobby Roode could seriously be what they need to take SmackDown to the Edge level. I love him that much. I think he's that good. I've always liked him from day one.
The thing with Edge is he was fantastic on the mic, but his character work was amazing too. But he also delivered every time in the ring, and
Whether he was a face or a heel,
Yeah.
though, like he was this unique kind of anomaly.
Yeah.
whereas I don't know if Rude. I think Rude depends on his opponent. a lot
Right.
more.
Yeah. Right. All right. I'll give you this then.
Uh-huh.
He could be over time. He could be SmackDown's Miz. He has the arrogance, his character lends itself so much to this. Like, well, he's essentially like the embodiment of Flair and the Horseman, the 80s sensibility.
Which I love.
He is the classic, I come out, I'm better than you, I'm grander than you, I'm everything that you ever wished that you could be. He is Rick Rude. It's like his namesake. Like, look at me. Look at how good I am, a man's man. All this, cutting these promos, just pissing all over the crowd, and they're all booing him and they're hating it, but they're all secretly loving it.
I can also see that as well, because I'm an old school guy. I love that. And we discussed about Rude maybe having a stable when it comes to SmackDown.
It could be something that could happen down the line.
I like that idea.
Before we get into that, I put to this, if Rude does go to SmackDown and they build him up in such a way where he is like that, he's this despicable heel who is just, he looks down his nose at everyone, who do you have to face him? Cena. The white meat, babyface, everybody loves, against Bobby Roode, the Smarks' favourite heel. Like, it's just, whether he wins or loses, he's going to elevate him so much.
But free agent Cena's going to go to Raw, isn't he?
Well, no, free agent Cena's going to be on both shows.
I think you're going to see. I think you're going to see
him on both shows.
Primarily on Raw.
Both the shows at half
I
the
hope
time.
I'm wrong, because I would pay good money to watch Cena Rude.
Yeah,
you know,
he's going to be on both shows, so they don't have to keep shifting him back and forth.
I think he'll be primarily on Raw.
That's what free agent means.
Just a feeling, but it's a feeling I've got that it will primarily be on
Raw.
Raw.
Cena is going to cash in at NXT.
To take the NXT title.
To take the NXT title immediately after McIntyre beats Rude. And then Rude and Cena are going to feud for the title on SmackDown.
Because if there's one guy you need to push, young up and comer, it's John Cena. Yeah,
exactly.
Blue chip John Cena.
True. I think Rude can get him over.
You think Rude can get him over?
I think Rude can get Cena over.
Yeah.
Definitely,
yeah. Let's show him a thing or two. Greener than grass Cena. I reckon.
Yeah. There's no hope for him if Rude doesn't get him over. You might as well just release him.
What's the tag team match on?
Sanity versus the Authors of Pain, which I think could be a dark horse.
I think that's got potential.
You know, two big men teams. I don't see Sanity winning, but...
Well, you say that, but they've got... You know, they're a stable, they're conniving, but it is unusual though because you've got Authors of Pain who have always been heels. That ain't changing.
I think they're in the last couple of weeks.
Would you call Sanity tweeners?
Well, they act more as tweeners,
yeah.
but they're the ones who have been acting heel in the last couple of weeks, unless it's just like my jaded viewpoint. But they tied up the Authors of Pain to the barriers, and then one of the members, and then they took the other one in, and then it was 4-on-1. And that seems like a heelish thing to do, right?
Yeah, that's it. When it's already 4-on-2.
Yeah.
And I'm 2 weeks behind with NXT. So this is new to me.
That is, that's quite.
It was like they were trying to go for
doing
sympathy.
Doing a podcast and I'm behind, folks.
It was like they were going for sympathy for the Authors of Pain.
Yeah, but then, but how can you do that though? They've got Paul Ellering as a manager.
Yeah.
Like that's like such a. You don't have a mouthpiece, like as a manager. Unless you're trying to get them over as a heel, that's like heel.
I think out the two sides, Sanity are more face front. They're more likely to be.
Oh, definitely.
The faces.
They're the unhinged, crazy face. Well, tweeners, aren't they?
Tweeners, that's what I think.
I think it's a good way of getting the Authors of Pain to become tweeners if they can take on everything that Sanity throw at them. And then maybe they realise, like, they could maybe turn around and be like, well, we don't need Paul Ellering. Or maybe Sanity were in cahoots with Paul Ellering and he's like, I'll do this, because this will be... Cause, like, if Sanity don't win, it doesn't matter, because they're this ragtag troupe of, like, nuts. Like, that's their entire gimmick, and it's a really interesting one. And they've got, you know, it's a male and female stable. They're ticking all kinds of boxes. So... they're not going to struggle after this. So surely it'd be more entertaining if you could shape the story arc to be something of a shift for the Authors of Pain. Like, to me, that would make the most sense because, like, all 4 members of Sanity getting offense into the Authors of Pain, it's like you've got 2 Braun Strowmans just taking punishment. You're like, these guys won't go down. Oh my God. It takes all 4 of them. They finally beat them down, and then something happens, and then they lose. Like they beat Sanity somehow. They don't use the
Super Collider.
Yeah, they don't use the Super Collider. They do something else. But again, how could they hit what's the name of the female?
Nikki Cross.
Nikki Cross, the Scottish.
Hi, Nikki.
Yeah, the Scottish.
Love you.
Immediately heel heat if they touch her. So
Yeah.
they can't touch her.
Yeah.
That's just a thing that's not done anymore in wrestling, is it?
No,
So-
but it would be awesome. Because she'll
Yeah.
touch them.
Unless you're
Yeah,
Stephanie
of course.
going to the
Yeah, she
table
will.
at WrestleMania.
Yeah, she will. She is, by all accounts, a really cool performer, and it would be ace to see. And that's the point. It's in their name. You know, it's they're unhinged. It's sanity.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna go all out, and it's gonna be like mental offense that we haven't seen in ages. You've got people of all different shapes and sizes gonna be involved in it, even though it's the two big men from Sanity taking on it. You can't say that Nikki Cross and Eric Young aren't going to be involved in this in some way. You know, some kind of distraction or something. But then, if they win the titles, what's going to happen? Like, who kind of cares? Like, they're not a stable that really needs titles to succeed because they've got kind of a rich character development as they've kind of started, and they're just annoying everyone. They're the tweeners that can just sit in the middle of the roster and piss off everyone. Oh, tag teams, yes. Women's division, yes. Main eventers, yes. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They're the Wyatt family for the NXT.
Yeah.
And because they have Nikki Cross, they can do it with anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they don't need the titles, in my opinion. So if you're going to do something, you need to swivel Authors of Pain at least into the tweeners from being just straight heels. So whether it's because they decide to... Well, they could lose the titles because they turned on Paul Ellering, and that was their undoing, or something daft like that. But Sanity don't need the titles. They'll at least make it entertaining. It should be an entertaining match because of just Sanity in general in ring. But if you want people to be talking about this, there's no DIY, there's no revival. People want a 5-star tag match in NXT, and that's
They're used to it now.
yeah, that's
Especially
it.
at Brooklyn.
You've set the bar so high. It's like every tag team match after the TLC matches in the Attitude Era. Like, what are you gonna do? So do something smart and develop the story, develop characters.
And that hasn't been done yet.
No.
As far as I can tell, anyway. Like,
No.
we're still unsure about who the heels are, so obviously they haven't established.
I think
Yeah.
you'll find out on Saturday. I think they'll obviously someone will take the role on of the heels
At the end
in
of the match, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you reckon it'll be? Like
By the end.
pretty middle tweeners all the way
Yeah.
through, heel antics here and there.
Maybe like you said, the Officer Pain are getting beaten down, and they come back in like a monster way.
Yeah,
And destroy
because then even if they're still like considered heels, at least you can say, oh, but like they won't give up.
Yeah.
They've got the fire.
They're the
They've
Braun Strowman heels.
Yeah, they've got the babyface fire. You want to see them succeed because seeing them lose is just unheard of. It's unthinkable. It's like the Road Warriors. That's why Paul
They
Ellering
might
is
be
with them.
dicks, but you respect them.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And building on that card, and no disrespect to the two guys, I think it's going to be the opening match. Is it Gargano and Andrade?
Andrade.
Oh, the white fedora sporting.
Pimp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He is.
who loves dancing
Yeah.
and
Quick and simple, Gargano's going over. I think the basic reason has made Gargano look strong, and I think TakeOver WrestleMania weekend, you're going to have Ciampa Gargano.
I think
Ciampa's due back around March time.
Almost goes over maybe due to an interference from Ciampa or a distraction on the screen just to keep the story going in the back.
Possibly. I think they're going to go with the making Gargano look strong for a while now.
That does make more sense, but I
Because
think
if Ciampa's not back till February, March time, that builds you up to TakeOver for WrestleMania.
yeah.
I think you'll have that, and that'll be one
I just
hell of a
want-
fucking match. That will be.
I just want Ciampa to be a thorn in Gargano's side for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
He's just costing him match after match.
Yeah.
In any way he can.
But
Like,
can
yeah.
everyone
if he
see
can't
if he's
be-
injured with
if
his
he
knee?
can't be the one beating up Gargano, he's going to be the one who gets Gargano beaten up by somebody else.
that's it. He's always going to
Yeah.
be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Ambrose chasing Rollins when
Yeah.
he was the Money
Yeah.
in the Bank
Yeah.
guy. It's like he's always there. He's always
Yeah.
there to just nipping at his heels, just constantly causing him aggro.
Well, we'll see.
And
we'll
then when
see.
Gargano gets his hands on Ciampa, that's going to be good.
Yeah. Last
That-
man standing match.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah.
First last man standing match in NXT.
I'm getting aroused just thinking about this. Gargano and Ciampa. Whoa.
Speaking of aroused, Asuka.
Asuka.
Yeah.
Ember Moon.
Ember Moon.
I think she's going
snap.
to be dethroned.
Well-
Done.
Do you know the way I see TakeOver going? I think it's going to be. You're going to. By end of TakeOver, I think you're going to have an idea who's going to the main roster.
Asuka.
I think Asuka's going up. I think
With the
Ruth's going
title.
up.
She's going with the title.
Yeah.
She's doing an Owens.
I think she's doing an Owens.
No, I think she's losing.
Oh no, I'll just say I think she's going up with the title and she keeps it, or she says there's no competition for me left in NXT.
And
I vacate the title, and I'm going straight for the SmackDown Women's title or the Raw Women's title.
I'd like her on SmackDown.
That would be really cool, and I've wanted to see that happen with several people, but I feel like Ember Moon's finish, the
something to do with an eclipse. It is called the eclipse, isn't it?
yeah, it's it's like the corkscrew stunner from the top rope. That and the Red Arrow are the two most protected finishers in wrestling at the minute. Neville, whenever he hits it, he pins. He wins with that move. Ember hasn't hit it on Asuka. And the last time that they had a title match at TakeOver, Asuka cheated and was dirty to dodge that. So if Ember Moon hits that, it's the same as Itami hitting the GTS.
I hope so.
Because that way you're getting the move over, you're getting Ember over. It means that in their rematch, if Ember hits it again, that is a definitive. That's the Asuka killer.
Get ready for Asuka to kick out of that move.
Which, yeah, if they're building up that much,
because Asuka's the most protected wrestler in WWE.
Yeah, the look on your face right now, you so want that to happen.
I
don't
do,
you?
yeah, I do.
You want to be sat there watching my face as it happens.
Well,
you
you're
want to
gonna
see
be
my
there.
bubble
Kick out
face.
at the
You're
first
gonna be
time,
there.
and
She'll
then she'll
kick out
hit
of
it
it.
again.
No, all she has to do is kick out of it once.
Yeah,
True.
that's all it takes. There's
Yeah.
no one has kicked out the Red Arrow
Yeah,
Well,
that's true.
ever.
I think Asuka's getting dethroned.
She's
And
just
she's
had
going
it
to
for just over 500 days. It
Yeah.
just seems so counterproductive to have a beating.
But
She
she's-
go
but
up to the main roster
again-
undefeated.
Don't forget this is WWE booking.
Yeah, I know.
You know, they'll probably have Roman Reigns come out and somehow
Yeah.
win the belt.
The big
Can I
dog.
make Roman look strong?
Yeah.
You put the women's title on him.
Put the women's title on Roman. How well does Asuka take a
Ends
spin?
Asuka's streak.
That's
Yeah.
it.
It could happen.
Superman punch, most protective move in wrestling.
Yeah.
Knocks her clean out.
Oh, there you go.
I think Ember Moon's gonna walk out as your new NXT.
I
So
would-
that's your prediction?
My
Ember
prediction.
Moon?
Ember Moon for me as well.
I'm going with Asuka.
Okay.
Right, is that every match on the card?
I
So
believe
I feel
so.
like we should make a prediction just so we've got like a
wager.
copy, a wager.
All right, let's just double check. We'll double check the lineup.
Yeah, check the
I
lineup.
think that's the lineup.
And then we'll go. Okay, so Rude versus McIntyre.
McIntyre.
I'm going with McIntyre.
McIntyre.
For the sake of story, I'm going McIntyre.
McIntyre, okay. Itami and Aleister Black.
Black.
I'm going black, but Itami beat down.
Going Itami.
Yeah, I'll go with that. I'll go with that.
God. There you go, I'll go with Itami. Tag team title match.
I don't know now, because part of me's thinking sanity, but the way we've just talked about it, I think they're going to keep it on the Authors of Pain.
I'm going with Off as a pin.
Yeah. Like you said, sanity don't need...
For me, they don't need it.
Yeah.
For me, they don't need it.
I'll go with Authors of Pain. I will.
Yeah.
But I'll be happy either way, to be honest with you, for that match, but... Yeah.
Gargano and Almas.
Gargano.
I'm going with Almas.
I'm going with Almas with distraction.
That'd be cool. So
let's
for any of
see.
the matches.
Asuka Ember Moon.
Asuka Ember Moon.
Well,
Ember Moon for
I'm
me.
going Ember Moon.
Yeah,
Oh,
Asuka.
Asuka. Well, you was right with
Yeah.
Shinsuke Nakamura and
Wait,
saying
sorry,
no one
right,
needs
let's,
to-
sorry,
I'm
let's
just
just
saying.
right. I'm sorry. We just need to address because it's. Oh wait, so it's it was meant to be Ono versus Itami and or Aleister Black versus Red Dragon. Now that is a weird lineup, like for a match. So that's not just a straight Itami versus Black. That's a
I really need to catch up on NXT.
mad
but
indie rejig.
what?
Cassius Ono versus Hideo Itami and / or Aleister Black versus Red Dragon.
I have no idea what that match is.
No.
Yeah, that is.
I'll stick with
Yeah.
my prediction.
Better watch NXT.
Itami
tonight,
wins,
innit?
whatever
yeah,
that match
that is
is.
I
confusing.
better catch up when I go home and watch NXT.
Itami wins. What about you?
Aleister Black.
We did miss one. Ruby Riott versus Peyton Royce.
Don't care about Ruby Riott.
Peyton Royce, because she's absolutely beautiful. And
Yeah.
she's good at wrestling.
Is Peyton Royce the
The hot one.
Yeah.
the Australian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both hot, but
Yeah, I
she's the
think
hot hair one.
She might be from New Zealand.
I think they're both
Yeah,
Australian.
the
Are they Australian?
Kiwi.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought they're both Australian.
I don't know.
They're both hot, but she's the hotter one. But Ruby Riot's hot as well. Like,
Wait, it's not
I'll go with the hottest one.
The hottest one wins.
The hottest one, yeah.
Peyton Royce.
Well, I'll go Ruby Riot.
Or Vicky Cross.
Yeah, I'll go Ruby Riot. Ruby Riot for me. We're gonna love a tattooed girl.
That is Peyton.
What?
Peyton wins.
We'll see, won't we?
Yeah, we will.
We'll see. We're now going to go for a quick short break. We'll be back soon with our SummerSlam thoughts and a very special topic. We'll catch you soon. Okay, and we're back. Time for us to discuss SummerSlam, the big one. Let's start. Big Show Cass entering the shark cage.
Oh, that's like mid-card, isn't it?
I think that's your curtain jerker.
That's your curtain jack. Oh, wait, are we just ignoring the pre-show?
Are we talking pre-show?
So wait, is that 11 matches with the pre-show, or is that excluding the pre-show?
I believe that's with the pre-show.
Well, because it's a special start time, which is an hour earlier than normal, which is what they do with Mania.
Yeah.
So, and SummerSlam for a couple of years now has been 4 hours.
Christ.
So, they're bigging it up like it's Mania. There is a good chance it could.
If you want to discuss pre-show, let's start again.
If we're gonna discuss it,
What's
can
on
be
the
short and
pre-show?
sweet.
What's on the pre-show?
The pre-show, let's start with the first one. I believe, from what I read, is going to be New Day versus the Usos for the tag titles.
That's on the pre-show.
That's the pre-show.
It's mad, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because that seems like it's got.
Did you not see the match at Battleground?
Yeah, that's one of the best. It was the best match of the night.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're bumping it to the pre-show.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, it's not the first time they've made a weird decision like that on the card, but
okay.
I don't know. It for me, it would be daft to take the titles off of the New Day so soon, but it's not unheard of. They already have the longest reign in tag history now after dethroning Demolition, so there's not. And Kofi Kingston is the most decorated
Tag wrestler.
He's the only wrestler to hold every incarnation of the WWF tag titles, I believe.
Yeah.
He's held the Raw, the SmackDown, the World, and the WWE.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's every.
Yeah.
So he's the only one. From someone who was predominantly a singles wrestler until the New Day happened, that's like mental to think.
He's
Put
a
him in
tag
the Hall
team
of Fame.
specialist.
Yeah.
He will be in the Hall of Fame, I reckon.
Tag specialist.
Yeah.
Dark Horse tag specialist.
Yeah. So, you think New Day retaining?
Yeah. Unless the Usos have to do something very despicable to kind of
Well, can we just give us
steal a win.
It's the pre-show. I think we can all assume
It's going to be a
new-
good, clean.
But
The
can we,
New Day
can we just give a
retains.
special mention to how awesome the Usos are?
Oh,
They
after
are
after
great.
That
going
the heel turn, just reinvented themselves,
Oh.
and they are the best tag team in WWE for me. And that's with my revival mark.
I was going to
You
say,
know.
you're a big revival man.
Yeah, but
the Usos have really, changed their gimmick into something worth watching. They were so boring at one point, but I love the Usos now.
now they're from the hood.
They definitely win the award for most improved tag team.
Yes,
Definitely.
they do.
Definitely. So, who are you picking?
I'm going to go with New Day.
New Day? Jimmy?
I will go. Do you know what? I'm going to play devil's advocate. I'll go with Usos.
I'm going New Day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll go Usos.
Well, that
Some
depends.
Shady shenanigans.
I want to say a good, clean face win to get everybody riled up for when the main card starts. That's assuming that tag match is the only match on the pre-show.
No, there is another pre-show match, and it is
Right.
the Cruiserweight Championship
Oh.
rematch. Neville getting his rematch against Akira Tozawa.
So that's definitely happening now.
That's definitely
Right,
happening. I'm
okay.
reading it.
Right, okay. It's Tozawa's got to retain, right? You end the winning streak of Neville.
I wouldn't have ended the winning streak of Neville.
I wouldn't have done it, to
No,
be
I
honest.
wouldn't. But
I would
they've
let
done
him hold that title for a much longer time.
Let him hold it until WrestleMania again. I don't care.
Yeah.
But they've dropped it, so it would be worse for Neville if he just won it back.
It's that case of let's give him a shock moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, he didn't hit the red arrow on Tozawa.
He
That was
didn't.
the reason
Yeah.
why he lost.
Yeah.
Is because
Like you said before,
Tozawa
if
moved
he
all the
hits
way.
it, then
it's game over.
and
Game
but if
over,
he
man.
misses, it's also a game over.
It's a game
It's-
changer, and it's a shame as well. I mean, Neville is one of my top guys on the roster at the minute.
Another
He
guy
is
who's
just,
reinvented himself.
just King of the Cruiserweights. My God, like I have been itching for somebody to bring back the Rings of Saturn. One of my all-time favourite submissions. Yeah. And he looks like he's trying to kill them. He's trying to rip their arms off. It is just awesome.
Shows you as well though what a simple heel turn can do for a career. Usos, Neville.
Yeah, there you go. We're more invested in the heels as characters on the pre-show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, New Day, don't get me wrong.
Well, you can see Neville's loving being a heel. He's loving this.
And his Twitter. Social media is amazing.
Yeah, he just took it and...
Good morning, peasants. Yeah. Every day.
Amazing. Brilliant. He just kept. Did you see when he dropped the title and he just said no?
Yes.
Why? It, no. Retweet no. Retweet no. Over and over. It was amazing.
They've given him something and he's took the ball and just fucking rolled with it. Yeah. He's one of the best heels they've got in WWE all around.
Yeah.
So who's winning?
It'd be foolish, for Neville to win it back, but
I'm going with Neville.
I'm gonna go with Tozawa.
I'm going for Neville. I think they've given you the shock moment and thought, right, that's it. Get the belt back on Neville. I don't know why. For some reason, I keep imagining Titus to turn on Tozawa.
It's not happening. The Titus brand is stronger than ever.
I don't. It probably is.
They're
making that money.
I just keep getting this feeling that it's gonna.
That Titus worldwide money.
That's it. Worldwide.
Worldwide.
That's it, and it's giving Apollo Crews something to do as well, just being a hype man.
He's arguably the most successful manager of all time.
Right now, he certainly is.
Yeah.
Look at that suit. Speaks volumes.
He took Tozawa from obscurity. He's now the champion.
Yeah.
He beat Neville.
He beat
the
king of the cruiserweights.
That's all from Titus.
Yeah, that's it. He was never doing it on his own.
No.
I still think Neville.
Perkins, come on, Perkins couldn't do it.
Gallagher couldn't do it.
Yeah, Gallagher.
Austin Aries left the company.
Aries left the company because he couldn't do it. Just,
my money's on Neville to get it back.
Nah, it's not happening while Titus is in charge, mate.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, main card.
Boom.
I already touched on it a second ago by mistake. Let's touch on it again.
So you reckon Shark Cage to open?
I think so. Big Show Cass, Enzo the Shark Cage, Enzo heel turn.
Do you know? I was thinking this.
Yeah.
I was thinking this because this arc has got no luster. It's got nothing, no steam, and I thought it was really weird as well that the Good Brothers, that Anderson and Gallows have just appeared out of nowhere, and
that's one thing. Is a stable going to form with them two, Cass and a heel mouthpiece in Enzo?
Right, that wasn't the thing that got me stoked. I mean, I had inklings because to me this is like the merging of two different storylines. Obviously, Anderson and Gallows at the minute don't really have anything to do.
Yeah.
But they had a backstage segment with Nia Jax where they were just calling everybody nerds. I marked out because I thought, holy shit, that is a stable. The three of them.
I've thought that
oh
for a
my
long
god!
time.
Please give me that. You've got two awesome, fucking big wrestlers.
Yeah.
And then you've got the big woman.
Yeah.
And Nia Jax is funny in those backstage segments.
She leans into it so much. They all do, but I think it's just because they get to be goofy. They get to act like they did when they were teenagers, just picking on people smaller than them, calling people nerds. It's so childish, but it's so funny.
And it's getting over.
90s.
Yeah. It's getting over. The fans wait for it now. He pauses, and the fans are waiting for it. It's getting over.
I'm waiting for the merch.
Yeah.
Just says nerds.
Nerds with a gas mask.
I think we all need to get that T-shirt.
Yeah. Boom. Nerd gas. With a gas mask. Boom. There you go.
Get this guy in merch.
Put me on creative.
Get him on creative merch.
Yeah, I found it really odd that they were being involved in the beatdown and the disabling of Big Show's WMD. Fair enough. If that is the way that you're going to try and level the playing field for Cass against Shaw, fair enough, but there has to be an Enzo thing. I mean, you could even argue Enzo wears his bling. They're going to do what they did with the Shark Cage when it was Owens, Jericho, Reigns. He's going to drop a chain because he wears his bling. He's going to drop the chain.
That's it. He's going to drop the chain from the cage to Cass.
Yeah, or Big Show's going to go to grab it, and as he goes to grab it, Cass is going to boom, big boot, knock him down. There you go. Like that's because you could argue it's like the Big Show being the baby. He's got his bad hand, but he's wrapped it in the chain, so it's just as powerful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think we can establish Cass is going over. Cause Big Show doesn't need the win.
No. And they've both got big in the name.
Yeah.
There can only be room for one big.
It's got to be a big cast.
Yeah, not the big dog
This is it.
or anything like
So,
that.
big
yeah.
cast to win.
For me, it's big cast via
Enzo heel turn.
either Enzo heel turn or accidental
Yeah.
Enzo assistance.
I'll go with big cast
Possibly.
too. After what you said, it just makes sense. It's going
Yeah.
to drop the bling down. Either cost picture of the match or
Yeah.
Cass will use it. It's got to be that.
Now, this isn't necessarily the order it's going to be on the card. I'm just going off what's in front of me.
That's fine.
So, my next one, Bray Wyatt, Finn Balor. What I don't like is they've announced the Demon. I would have preferred him to have come out.
we all knew it was coming.
We knew it was
though.
coming, but I
now
still would
for
not rather have it announced.
But to the casual viewers, it's like, oh no, we get to see the Demon. Definitely, SummerSlam, I might watch
Yeah,
it.
but
We know it's coming anyway.
We know it's coming.
And
I would have liked it to happen when Bray Wyatt comes out. He's expecting Finn Balor, and then the Demon
but
comes.
he didn't actually say the Demon Balor's coming. He
But they've
said, I'm
announced
going
it
to
on Raw.
introduce him
They've
to my
said-
Demon.
They've announced it though.
Yeah.
The Demon Finn
So-
Balor.
They have. That's
They
it.
have said that.
They rectified
Yeah.
the card for it, like the card slate. So like the picture. Oh, there he is with all the funny
Yeah.
tassels on his head.
The Demon.
I've missed
Yeah.
that Balor, to be fair.
It's cool, but I'm really glad that they only bring it out sparingly.
Yeah, I would have it again to WrestleMania now.
Yeah, you want to keep him fresh.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
got to do that. God damn it, he is awesome. He is the coolest guy ever. When he walks out with the leather jacket,
Pops his collar.
pops his collar, #abs day,
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
We
you
always
know.
will look like him, don't we?
Oh god, that's it.
Well,
And,
Callum
well,
almost does. But
I
Finn
need
Balor,
to
spelled Thin.
Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, my kryptonite is pizza, so that's never happening.
Snap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, will the Demon be able to beat the other worlds?
Yeah, probably.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
say-
I think Balor's winning.
I'm
this
gonna
one.
say yeah. If you really want to keep the Demon gimmick over, whenever he pulls it out, he's got to be beating people. It's like he becomes this other person. It's like the symbiote suit. He's just there you go. He's gonna beat him. For me, the same with the Undertaker at WrestleMania. He changes attire a little bit. He did it in Balor did it when he was in NXT. You've got to keep it fresh as well. You've got to tweak
Yes.
it.
Mhm.
You've got to keep tweaking it because he's done the Venom thing. He's done the Carnage thing. He's done where it's black.
Chainsaw Massacre
Yeah,
thing.
Chainsaw Massacre. You know, keep it fresh. You've got to keep going it. But it's like him tapping into this inner demon thing that he's got going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's almost like it's not him.
It's like he did Jack the Ripper, didn't he? When they did
Yes.
the scene in the UK,
Yeah, that's it.
which
Yeah.
is cool.
That's it. You've got to keep rolling with that, and you've got to, because to me, it's the same highlight as like, oh, what's Rey Mysterio going to look like at Mania?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it was always a different
What entrance is
superhero.
Triple H going to have?
Yeah, that's it. It keeps you guessing, and and it all adds to the spectacle. If you want to make SummerSlam the thing to remember over the summer, you need moments like
Yeah.
Balor's reveal. But
Yeah.
then also you could get away with going, okay, this is the arena that we're doing it in. This is the stage that we've got. How is Balor gonna get to the ring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is he going to interact with the crowd as he comes down? Because it was all very paced. You knew what was coming in NXT. Make it more interesting. Make it something different. Can you make it more of a spectacle?
At this
SummerSlam?
point-
That was the thing with NXT. Every takeover, it was the Demon Finn Balor. It's like they saved it for every takeover.
Yeah.
Whereas I like you said, make it special. You know, we'll have it at SummerSlam. Let's not see it now for WrestleMania.
Or like Kit said for the Big Four.
Big
Yeah,
Four.
Big Four, definitely.
Yeah.
Or at least SummerSlam, WrestleMania, but definitely.
Talking of his opponent though, where does he Wyatt going after this?
Well, we've said
I
that
think
for
they're
like the last 2 years.
they're just misusing him. He's such potential to be, in my opinion, a mega babyface.
Well, no, I agree. I've heard Jim Ross say that many times. Like,
Mega
He's got
babyface.
huge babyface potential.
Absolutely.
And that face-off he had with The Rock, I think it was.
Yeah.
And
Well,
the-
last WrestleMania.
yeah, 32, wasn't it?
32,
Yeah. Where The Rock was saying these people want to like you, just give them a reason.
Yeah.
And
That-
they're already
that-
behind you.
That 100% was him just shooting on him.
Yes, it definitely. And the fans do like him. They
Yeah.
want to like him.
Yeah.
And there's just no reason to.
His
He-
booking's awful.
Yeah, he comes out, he says, I don't like you, I'm going to get into your head. He does it for a little bit. It looks like he's going to win.
Yeah.
Then he loses. And
Yeah.
then he interferes with someone else's match, and then he rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, God.
He might win a match here or two, then he'll lose a few matches.
Then he'll
He'll
go
win a
back to
few
someone he's already
matches.
feuded with, like
Yeah.
Ambrose, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to mess with your head again.
Yeah.
He-
Does he maybe need new followers? Would you
No,
bring
no,
Harper and
I
Rowan to
think
Raw?
I think
I think he
he's-
should have stayed on SmackDown.
No, he needs to just be Bray Wyatt, but booked to win, or at least get.
I mean, I'm asking these questions as just to devil advocate.
But like,
you know.
if say for instance with Daniel Bryan when he got him to join the Wyatt family, that was cool because people were like, oh god, maybe he does have superpowers because he's actually got Daniel Bryan to change, and that was cool seeing Daniel Bryan change into a member of the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
Because when he was trying to get Roman Reigns and John Cena to do the same, you could see they were just leading him along. Like, it was never going to happen. So he needs to actually come out, say he's going to do something, and do it.
Yeah. So, who's going to win? Balor for me.
Balor for me.
Balor.
Yeah?
Balor, definitely.
I think so. I think it'd be a good match. The next match, Randy Orton, Rusev. It's just sort of thrown together.
Randy Orton next.
Let's get these two on the card.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Can I just say how fucking awesome Rusev is?
Oh, I love him.
Again, I can see him as a face.
Yeah, he's funny.
Because you watch him outside of WWE, he's hilarious.
He's got that Kurt Angle timing.
Yeah.
That's
brilliant.
it. He was one of the funniest characters. Well, I mean, everybody in the Southpaw wrestling thing was just top notch.
He's having fun.
Big Bartholomew.
Yeah, Big Bartholomew,
Yeah.
the farmer who couldn't decide what accent he wanted to have. Awesome.
Fighting for his farmland.
Give me more of that.
But you can see he loves being funny. He loves entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, he understands the role he has to play,
Yeah.
but it's unfortunate, especially with everything that's going on in the world today, that even now in wrestling, in American wrestling, anyone that's not an American is a heel. Like, that immediate heel heat. Like, even with Canada,
Yeah.
you just, oh, you're Canadian, heel heat.
Yeah.
Like, you know, oh, you talk like us, kind of.
Yeah.
You know, Kevin Owens, his gimmick, the air quotes, new face of America. Love it, but it works because he's Canadian.
Yeah.
French Canadian.
Yeah.
Rubbing it in everyone's face.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a real shame that it has to, his appearance on TV has to hinge on such a dated stereotype.
It's the old let's go back to the good guy versus the bad guy foreigner, and it's you know,
it's the Sergeant Slaughter, it's the you know, the Iron Sheik,
it's
all
Nikolai
that.
Volkov,
Yeah, Volkov.
Yeah.
you know, it's always the same. I suppose it's reliable, you know, if you need something to go to it, but it gets to the point where it's, oh, here we go again, you know, the good guy, Mr. America, you know, gonna topple the bad guy. It's, you know, the outcome constantly. It's the same.
That's basically what this is.
It's the same. But I'm gonna swerve you here, and I'm gonna go for Rusev.
Okay, I'm gonna go for Randy Orton via RKO.
I'd like to see Rusev get a bit of momentum.
Yeah, we all would.
Yeah.
Well, there you go then. It's gonna, for me, it's gonna be Orton wins, RKO out of nowhere, but it will be like with Rollins. It will be one of those spectacular RKOs out of nowhere. Rusev is gonna batter him.
Yeah.
He's gonna just batter him the entire match. Orton needs to get some steam back after he's been beaten by Mahal so many times.
No, I like Orton, but does anybody care?
No, I haven't cared about Orton since Legacy.
Too. Yeah,
I just do not.
I like
really
Randy Orton. I like Randy Orton, and he's phenomenal in the ring.
Yeah,
but
I do
I just
care.
have no reason to care.
I just want to see him against someone who isn't gender. I know, so I'm excited to see this.
And
match
I like heel Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Because he's a natural
punt kick.
Yeah,
Orton.
Yeah.
He's a dick in real life, isn't he?
Yeah.
By
He's a
all
dick.
reports, but
he's a natural dick.
yeah, just
You
let
know.
him be a dick.
As opposed to an unnatural.
As an unnatural
Yeah.
dick. Yeah. Exactly. So next up on the list, I'm going to bring it up now. Is Corbin Cena after SmackDown? What
After everything
I think
that we
Corbin's
spoke
push
about.
is going down. I think Cena's going to bury him.
I don't think he's going to bury him. I think they'll have a decent match, but I think Cena's winning.
Yeah, and Cena has found this newfound vigor for, here's an AA, now I'm going to do the triple till rollover senton to set you up for another AA.
Yeah.
He's going to just, boom, 2 AAs,
I do
one
like
after
that.
the other. It's
Because he realised the people were kicking out of the AA.
so he went,
It's a
no.
shit finisher.
Well, it's not really, is it? It beat, in kayfabe, it beat The Rock.
Yeah, but
Well,
it
it's
just
beaten-
doesn't look
It's
effective.
beating everybody.
It's almost
Yeah,
like
you're right.
it's just a
So
stand-up
it's not a shit
carry.
finisher.
It's just
If anything, it's the best finisher.
all right,
Yeah,
but
all right.
it doesn't look good. It doesn't look like it can
Well,
do
that's
anything.
That's your opinion, subjective
That's my
art form.
opinion. That's my opinion. Yeah, it just doesn't look like it's gonna.
Death Valley Slam.
I'm sorry,
Just-
but
Yeah.
did The Rock kick out of it?
Found whatever.
Did Brock Lesnar kick out of it? Yeah, he did, but it beat him.
It just looks like a very lazy
It's the
Finish,
it's the
yes.
perfect storytelling finisher. The
It
same
is,
way
yeah.
that the rock bottom is the perfect, and the people's elbow are the perfect storytelling finish. The leg drop,
Definitely.
perfect storytelling finisher.
All right, I'll give
It's-
you that one.
That's all it is to me. If I was like a creative character in WWE like 2K18 or whatever, no, that's like lowest stats. That's like
Yeah.
you know, Fireman Slam, none of that. That level 1, that's tier 1. That's it. That you get that. You create a wrestler. When you're just starting in NXT. That's your safety bump. It hurts just as much as a scoop slam.
Well, to be fair, that's probably why they did give Cena that
Yeah,
move
that's
at
it.
first,
The
but now it's become
prototype.
one of the most protected moves. in WWE.
That is not the most protective one.
Well, it definitely was. Only in recent years have people started kicking out every time
I guess
since
that
his open
sounds-
challenge.
And just on the side note,
Nah.
because I really hate this with some fans, can I just say, and you might agree, you might not, John Cena's fucking awesome.
You know,
John Cena can wrestle. John Cena makes every guy he wrestles look amazing.
you won't get any argument from
Yeah.
me. I don't know about James.
It was a slow burn for me. I liked it. It was one of those things where about 10 years ago, when you couldn't get away from him, I was like, oh no, oh no, here we are, this is happening. And I had a short stint away, so I missed the Nexus and the core.
Missed the core.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. It's that was for a number of different things, like me stepping away from watching wrestling, coming back. I'm wholeheartedly into it because Cena is a great storyteller in ring. He, for the most part, is very safe. He knows how to get the crowd invested, and that's what you need in wrestling. Don't get me wrong. Your indie matches and your cruiserweights, where you're like, oh, flips and oh, look, I've never seen that move. It's so physically
You want a story.
impressive, but you need to be able to tell a story.
You do want a story. I'm an indie wrestling fan, but there is too much flips, super kicks.
I didn't know Jim Cornette was a guest on this week's podcast.
Motherfucker!
Can't believe it. First episode.
Motherfucker!
Oh.
Give me a double cheeseburger, double onions. Motherfucker!
I think
Fuck you, Kenny Omega.
I think Cena's going over.
Yeah, I do.
I fear for Corbin's future, but
I do.
that's something that we've already spoken about.
Yeah.
So
Cena wins.
Cena wins.
Cena wins.
Cena
And
wins, Cena pins. Boom.
That should be on a t-shirt. Why is that not on a t-shirt? Cena pins, Cena wins.
I don't know.
That's good.
Next match idea.
There we
Boom.
go.
It's happening.
There we go. Next match doesn't excite me. Naomi, Natalia, SmackDown Women's Championship.
Yeah.
I think Naomi's fantastic. I think Natalia's getting the belt. I think Natalia's going over.
I think they're both fantastic. I've
Yes,
liked,
I do. Sorry, yeah.
I've liked Natalia for a long time, but Naomi has improved so much. Like thinking back to the Funkadactyls
Yeah.
to now, it's just yes, that's your transformation. Make me invested. You're helping to elevate as well, and this is something. Obviously, you've got the New Day, but this. I don't necessarily want to make it all about this, but this is something that certainly has to be addressed. Is the lack of African American title holders. Like the number is so low. The number of people that aren't American, just white Americans that have held titles. Having Naomi win the title and hold it for so long is absolutely fantastic. I imagine the effect that she's had on her fans and the African American community, for like younger people to be invested in wrestling, and for young girls in wrestling has just escalated to like just inconceivable, because she is the perfect like Bailey. She is just like that. Yes, she is the inspiration. She's a hope for the kids and everything.
She's a
and that's
female
what you
Cena.
want. Yeah, that's it. Like the same way that we jokingly call Bailey Jane Cena. It's it's the same kind of thing, but Natalia for the longest time hasn't had a title. She hasn't been relevant in so long, and with everything that's happened with like her being a part of Masters of the Universe with Cesaro and TJ Kidd and just stuff like that, it's just a real shame that she hasn't held the title in this Divas Revolution air quotes thing. She's been there since well before then. She
Definitely.
needs a title
And she's a
run.
great worker.
She needs a title
Do you
run.
think-
I think what's going to happen, I think Natalia's going to get a belt because I think you're going to get a program with Charlotte. I think you go for Natalia Charlotte program to where they get the belt onto Charlotte.
Ooh.
I hate to say it, is Natalia just going to be a placeholder for Charlotte?
Maybe. I would like to see that
Hey,
from
what
a
a match.
storyline point of view.
Yeah. The Hearts versus the Flairs.
Well, they've had that before. They had it in
NXT.
NXT, and
Yeah,
that for me was the start of the air quotes Divas.
I think Carmella's
Yeah.
cashing in at SummerSlam.
You think?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Naomi wins, Carmella cashes in. Because
Carmella's my girl, so I'm happy
Corbin's
with
not
that.
cashing in, no.
Yeah, but that's it. We still have a Money in the Bank
We still have
winner.
Money in
Yeah,
the Bank,
it's
yeah.
true.
So maybe Carmella cashes in.
But if Carmella's cashing in, then Naomi, I think, will retain her Natalia.
Yeah, so
But
I'm saying Naomi retains,
Yeah,
Carmella cashes
yeah.
in.
Wasn't there a...
But do the swerve you and have Carmella unsuccessfully cash in as well?
That would be the most
The worst move.
unnecessary Money in the Bank
Yeah.
pay-per-view
Yeah.
that's ever happened.
Yep.
So it's probably going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
But
WWE logic, yeah.
Well, but they've teased the cash in as well because they had Carmella and Thingy stood on the ramp and Carmella's holding the briefcase and Ellsworth is saying like whoever wins what it was exactly that he said, but it was like basically whoever wins the champion loses or something like that, and it was like remember I'm here.
Yeah.
Like, this is where the money in the bank is.
Or the swervers, Ellsworth turns on Carmella and he cashes it in.
That'd be
That's
amazing.
all I could hope for.
WWE logic, that could happen, right? That could happen.
Well, he won Money in the Bank.
But
so-
now I'm
yeah.
saying Natalia,
It
and
is,
then you've
yeah.
got the added Carmella. But then Carmella could cash in on Natalia.
But
Who's-
Baron's just cashed in
yeah.
on Jinder, so I can't see another heel on heel cash in.
Yeah.
Okay, so right, well, let's just try and simplify it. Who's going over, Naomi or Natalia?
Naomi.
I'm still going to say Natalia.
Okay.
I'm going to say Natalia.
For her, I want to say Natalia. I think she deserves a run with the title. She needs to
Absolutely.
improve her mic work so much,
Yes.
but
In
she
ring-wise.
deserves a title.
Yeah, I agree with you. She
Yeah,
does.
so you're saying
I'm
Natalia?
going Natalia.
Natalia?
Yeah, I'm going Natalia.
Okay.
I'm going to, yeah. Which brings me on to the next women's match. Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks.
Oh, this one's really
Real
hard
life
to call.
heat as well, isn't they?
Yeah.
Real life heat, they don't like each other.
Really?
They don't like
Oh,
each
yeah.
other.
Oh.
They don't like each other. There's
Yeah, this
real
is gonna
life
be-
heat.
Everything they say on the mic is probably
like
true, but
Yeah.
like turned up a little bit.
yeah.
But it's from a real place.
So do you reckon this is going to be strong style?
I hope so.
Strong style!
What's strong style, pal? Never heard of it.
Hmm.
Call in the artist. Give him a
Um,
paintbrush.
I'm gonna go with Sasha Banks on this one. I'd rather see Alexa win, but I think I don't know, because now
I
I'm
think
saying
the
it
plans
just
have
seems
got
wrong.
ruined because I think when it was Bailey, I think you're going to have Bailey, I don't know, either win and Sasha turn heel on it, or Sasha cost Bailey the match and turn heel. I think it was to build up a Sasha heel turn. Now Bailey's injured. It's like we've had to put that on hold for a bit. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
going
see
with
what you
Alexa.
mean.
I think they're going to keep the belt on Alexa. Sasha's going to get more frustrated. Bailey comes back, gets her match. Sasha's going to get pissed off, turn on Bailey.
No,
Just-
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, I mean,
Fuck
Sasha's
it.
a natural heel.
Fuck it, I'm going with Sasha.
So I'm going to stick with Alexa.
I'm going with Bliss, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with Alexa.
She's the one for me.
I hope you guys are right.
She
Yeah.
can do no wrong.
She's absolutely beautiful, and she's great in the ring.
Did you did you see that video on Facebook with the live show where some little kid slapped her on the ass
Yes.
as Nia was carrying her out?
Really?
Give
Some
that
little-
kid
Some
the
little lad in
Warrior
the front
Award.
row, Nia had her over her
Give that
shoulders.
kid the Warrior Award.
Seriously, Nia had her over her shoulders carrying out, and this little kid just reached off and went like that and slapped Alexa on the ass. That was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Jealous of like a 12-year-old kid.
The balls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Full Warrior Award.
I think so.
Honorary
Let's start petition.
Warrior Award.
All our listeners, let's get a
Yeah.
petition going now. Next year's Warrior Awards is the kid who slapped Alexa's ass.
Boom.
And us three will present it.
Right,
Which means we
okay.
get free
Right.
tickets to WrestleMania.
Next match.
Next match is, I've just turned my phone off.
Nailed it.
That's clever, aren't I? United States Championship. AJ Styles,
Oh yeah.
Kevin Owens,
That's
and special referee Shane McMahon.
Shane McMahon, yeah.
And I like, again, the facts that on SmackDown last week, they took you back the years and they showed the footage of Shane screwing Austin against Mankind at Survivor Series.
That's
some
story.
Dissension.
Yeah.
Dissension.
Do you sense a... The thing is, I say sense a Shane heel turn, but if Enzo's turning heel early in the night, you can't have Shane do the same, can you?
I think AJ's going to win.
Yeah, and I don't think Shane needs to turn heel.
I hope you're right, just because it's changed hands so much, it needs to just stay in one place now.
And then what happens to Kevin Owens?
Does AJ have the title at the minute?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lost
know
track.
it's hard to keep up with.
Yeah, they've hot-shotted it about a bit.
Yeah, that's it.
But what happens to Owens if he loses? I read a few weeks ago...
Well, he can still keep the gimmick and be a heel.
But I read a few weeks ago that there's talks of Kevin Owens turning face. Personally, I think he's too much of a good heel to turn face.
Well, if AJ sides with Shane McMahon and buddies up and does the old, you're the GM, you're buddy kind of thing, because it's they had the whole promo where it's like, we made up, I forgive you for the accident that happened during the face off and all that stuff. If that's genuine, there's no reason why the two of them can't be like, well, yeah, I know we fought. So I know what you're about, and I know that you fight for your principles and all that stuff. I respect you for fighting for what you believe in, and ultimately, you're American, and that's why you deserve to be the US champion. Yeah. Boo, woo, that's a bit weird. That tweener heat because we're all American. Not wanna boo. They wanna boo because it's against the heel, but that's heel talking, tweener weirdness. AJ is great as like this snarky, I will say what I want, I won't bite my tongue, I'm not a heel, but I'm going to let you know that I don't like you. Yeah. That whole favourite thing in the world, beating Cena up, beating people up when it was him and Anderson and Gallows was amazing. That was such a good program, and he needs that. He needs that whole, I don't care, because I'm better than you. The fact that he has Shane McMahon in his corner, he could go, I'm the US champion, and now I'm going to go against the world champion. I'm going to go against the WWE champion. Yeah. And Shane's going to make sure that happens. And he's like, yeah, sure, why not?
So we're going for Styles win?
I'm going for a Styles win for an eventual Owens face turn.
Right.
See, now, I'm a massive Kevin Owens mark. He's like my favourite guy. But I agree with you. Styles, for me, is going over. I'm
going with Styles. But I think if Kevin Owens ever turns face, it should be him rescuing Sami Zayn.
Yes, agreed.
They need to save that.
Ultimate face turn.
That's got to be it.
100%.
So, that's like saving a child from a burning building.
Imagine Zayn's getting beaten down by somebody and Owens' music plays and he runs in to save Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then he picks him up.
And throws him into the apron.
Pop-up powerbomb. Yeah. Swerve.
Yeah. But yeah, Styles for me. I just hope they pull out a good match because I've been disappointed with the matches so far. And on paper, you look at that and you think, wow, what a fucking match this is going to be.
Yeah.
And then they haven't produced.
No, they haven't.
No, I really hope
it's been lackluster.
I really hope they're gonna. They've got potential to be match of the night if they're on their game.
But you've got like the age-old thing of if there's a special guest referee, it means that the higher ups don't have faith in the match. Like, why would you have a special guest ref in the match against those two people?
Yeah.
It seems so redundant unless there's going to be a story element to the match.
Yeah, if he just calls that match clean and there's
him being there is pointless.
Something's going to happen. Even if there's going to be a ref bump or something's going to happen.
If you bump into Shane, he's not going to stay down. It's Shane McMahon.
Yeah, he'll get up and he'll fight. It's like my favourite Elimination Chamber match is the one in Puerto Rico where it's Michaels is the guest referee and Edge spears him by accident, misses a pinfall, he picks him up and he shakes him with that switching music. Edge is KO'd. You're like, oh, there you go. Him being in the match made sense because it just built the tension between those two.
But do you get the feeling they're building up to an Owens McMahon match?
Possibly.
Maybe.
Possibly.
I think they've been teasing it the last few weeks and stuff. I think there's potential. That's what they're building to. Maybe Survivor Series, or I think they're building to something.
That could be interesting.
Yeah. But speaking of titles, it's not been announced for the card, but I've got a feeling it'll be put on there. Ms. Jason Jordan. Hypothetically, if it is announced.
Jason Angle.
Yeah. This late in the game? With less than a week to go?
They always add you know what they're like, don't you?
Is that match on the card?
It's not been announced, but I just got a hunch that they're going to put it on. SummerSlam without a title match. Every other title's on the
So
card.
if I was,
You wanna devalue the IC title, then like if you're gonna not have it on the card, fair enough, because other storytelling like takes precedence. But just oh no, got the title, quick put it in.
But I think the Miz deserves to be on the card.
oh, he does. So does the IC title.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you can't, like James said, you can't just make it seem like
No,
an afterthought.
I'm
like,
just saying,
oh
no,
shit,
what-
we forgot to
no,
put
what
this.
do we do
quick,
with
quick, quick, put it on the put it
What I
on
mean
the
is,
pre-show.
No,
Like,
what
the
like
fuck?
is they'll do some sort of angle in the night where it's announced for later on in the show.
Oh,
No pun
you-
intended.
God, that
But
would...
you know that they'll do it. That's what they like. They do it.
Alright, if it happens, who's winning?
Jason Jordan.
Miz.
Miz.
Jason Jordan. I
He
don't
can-
like this angle.
He can overcome the Miz, but he can't overcome the Miztourage.
No.
Well, I pray to God that they turn Jason Jordan heel at some point.
He's saying
because
heel, isn't
when
he?
the crowd are chanting "Let's go Jobber" against you,
Yeah,
this isn't working.
yeah.
It's-
This is.
You know. But enough about that because it's not actually been officially announced.
Yeah.
Raw Tag Team title. Ambrose Rollins versus Cesaro.
I
That's very
love-
camp, wasn't it?
I
It was
love
Cesaro.
Sheamus and Cesaro.
Me
And
too.
Them as a tag team has given them new life.
Yeah.
I think that the best of 7 was pointless. It should have been a best of 5
Yeah.
tops because it wasn't actually a best of 7. It was a best of 9.
Yeah,
because
there's
they
two
just-
matches the week before.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
completely redundant. But they are two powerhouses who they just dominate the ring. They are bruisers. They are big guys. They can just go. Cesaro, like just whenever I'm sad, I watch that GIF of Cesaro in that tag match against like the New Day and Anderson and Gallows and another tag, it was the Usos.
Where he runs
just-
around the ring,
Just runs around the
destroying
ring, just
everybody.
batters everyone,
Yeah.
absolutely everyone. Springboarding, jumping over the ropes, double stomping people, big booting people, European uppercutting people.
He's a machine, isn't he?
All in the
Yeah.
space of
He's
10,
a
15
machine.
seconds, and you're like, yes. Why isn't this guy in the main event page?
Yeah.
What the hell is
Absolutely.
wrong with
Yeah.
this problem? This situation. Him having the tag titles is great. It keeps Sheamus relevant because he's a former world champion. We ironically just watched the ride along with the two of them, and the dynamic they have is really funny because it's the odd couple, despite them both being heels.
Yeah.
It's that clash. Pardon the pun. of
Cesaro's been quite a
styles.
joker, isn't he?
Yeah, like
And
like
Sheamus
they're
is falling
both.
asleep.
Yeah, that's it. They're both trying to be funny. They're both not understanding each other's lingo. Like Sheamus is talking, because he's Irish. Says, "Oh, I went for a kip because I was knackered and stuff." And Cesaro's like, "What's a kip? What do you mean knackered?" And he just doesn't understand it. And it's like
Yeah.
this constant bickering between them. But then, when it matters, they get in the ring and they batter people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, Rollins and Ambrose, former world champions, but I see they'll tease it, but there will be an Ambrose heel turn.
Oh,
down
yeah,
the
this
line.
is the build-up.
That's
It's gotta
the
be,
thing.
hasn't
This is the build-up. Yeah.
I
They
think-
could do it now though as well. Like they're just
See,
about to get the win. Ambrose turns and he's like, he doesn't. Why would he want to win
the
tag
titles with him.
with someone he doesn't trust?
Yeah.
I think a heel turn is badly needed for Ambrose. I think more than anybody on the roster, he needs a heel turn. I really do.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
Again, I keep saying it, I think he's a natural heel. And he needs the heel turn.
So are we saying Sheamus and Cesaro win?
I think Rollins and Ambrose will still win the belts. I think
you?
the heel turn is going to come further down the road. Maybe leading to WrestleMania, maybe.
Ooh,
And have
that's-
them two go at it at WrestleMania. I think they'll win the belts.
That's a good 6 month.
It's a build.
I know-
I like a good build.
Yeah,
That's
like,
why
I
they
know
don't
we
do
keep,
it.
Yeah, I know we keep talking about like WrestleMania, but it's 6 months away. That's a big jump.
I do want to see.
It's almost like the Mega Powers.
It is a lot.
They don't have the long term booking for the Mega Pack. That was a year.
True, but this is going to be what, 6-7 months?
I want to see Ambrose put the chair in Rollins' back,
Yeah.
like Rollins did to him
Yeah,
at SummerSlam.
yeah,
That would be perfect.
yeah.
But we're booking too many heel turns at the minute for SummerSlam, aren't we?
I think
Every
it's
match has a heel turn.
yeah. I think it's just it's the smarks in us.
It is,
It's,
yeah.
but this is the problem. Like everyone complains about this type of stuff, but we've been fans of wrestling for years since we were kids.
Yeah.
After you've seen it all, you start wanting to see the things that you haven't seen.
Yeah.
And so like this, like I will always like argue this point, like, oh, you fucking smart. Yeah, because I've already seen this happen.
Yeah.
I remember this happening 5 years ago with these people, or 3 years ago with this person, or whatever. it's just irritating, and I know it. Yeah, there is a lot of. It's almost like how pessimism is rubbing onto the card. Like, all the heels win. The heels get all the titles because it makes it interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I don't know how to call this. I want Sheamus and Cesaro to retain, but I don't know. What I do know is I'm looking forward to that sweet, just exclamation point of the chair in the back of Rollins.
Or do Ambrose Rollins win, but by DQ or count out? Win the belts eventually. To then you start getting dissension where things aren't going
do something
right.
big, you might as well do it at SummerSlam.
Yeah. If you want it to be a.
So call it then, because we've got 2 matches left to talk about, and then we've got our.
Oh yeah, of course.
Our big topic.
All right, I'm going to say Sheamus Cesaro.
Sheamus and Cesaro.
I'll go Ambrose Rollins, but not winning the belts. DQ or count out.
Okay.
I can't believe I'm about to say this.
Oh.
The SmackDown World Championship. The SmackDown.
Big match Jinder.
Big match Jinder.
That's it.
And Shinsuke Nakamura. I can't believe I've just said that.
That's it. You go. Don't hinder the Jinder versus
He
the
He
eyes.
is unhindered now.
He is completely unhindered.
The artist.
Swipe right on Tinder. Mahal. He is.
Swipe right on Tinder.
That's
I'll
it.
show you my
Unhindered.
Maharaja.
Big match Jinder Mahal.
That's it. He is multi-retained champion against a 13-time world champion, Randy
Yeah,
Orton.
14.
14?
No, it's
13,
13
14?
Orton.
Is it
13?
13?
13 Orton.
Yeah, over a dozen.
Triple H is 14.
Right,
Yeah,
that's it.
just terrifying. It is terrifying, but again, I mean, we've already spoken about this. Just the state of affairs on SmackDown is so unusual. It's nice. There's this really weird thing with Shinsuke where he's done what AJ did, where he keeps falling upwards. He'll lose, but then he moves up the ranks. It makes no sense. But I'm happy to see him there because they need to thicken up that main event block that is so thin on SmackDown. I honestly don't know how this is going to go because of what we said about Corbin, because of that complete blunder.
When you take away the possible cash in, it's just
Well, that's it now, isn't
one
it?
less thing to be interested in.
That's it. You know what's going to happen, don't you? Fucking Carly's going to come down in here and cost him the match, Nakamura.
What, just bring back Cali for big pay-per-views?
I
Yeah.
just...
Like Battleground.
Yeah.
I hope to God not. I really hope to God not. But I mean, I say that about Mahal. I credit the guy. He's transformed himself. He's taking it seriously. He's enjoying it, having the time. You can see he's loving it.
Yeah.
Mahal isn't the issue, is it? He's taking the
doing-
ball and he's
he's-
running.
yeah.
It's just he's in a very shallow pool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got not against the guy, and he is growing on me. You know, and it reminds me almost like the cabinet back in the 2004 era with JBL and the Bashams and Helen's boyfriend
yeah, of
Orlando
course.
Jordan. You know.
Oh yeah.
You know. Can I shout out to Orlando?
I'm not
Let him know you're
commenting
here.
on anything at the moment.
You're
We'll
legal
save
now.
that for another podcast.
You're legal age now, so
Yeah,
you know.
well, I'm not saying a word.
No comment. But I personally think Jinder Mahal will retain and keep the belt at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I think on saying that though, what happened on SmackDown when the ref ejected the Singh brothers, that's the first time to my recollection that Jinder has been on his own. They put the Punjabi prison there so that he'd be isolated against Orton. Presumably he was going to be there to win, but then the Singh brothers climbed in.
Khali.
It all got a bit leery. Then Khali came down at the end just when you thought that Orton had it. What can they pull out of the bag now? Like we can see it's a one-on-one match. There's no stipulation. The ref can easily just send everybody away unless it's like a deliberate like DQ win. Shinsuke is going to go for the I like to call it the kielbasa.
the kielbasa.
Yeah, the kielbasa. He's going to go
Sounds
for
delicious.
Tenacious D.
yeah, he's going to go for the kielbasa knee, and like you know, he's got him set up in the corner. Then the Singh brothers pull him out, and it'll be like a count out thing or something. But then Shinsuke can get his heat back because he can run up the ramp and hit him with it on the ramp.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's like a big spectacle. He's there, stood at the top of the ramp. The Singh brothers are there trying to hoist Jinder up, and then he hits him again.
So,
and you're like, oh.
Jinder retains against Shinsuke, and perhaps John Cena beats Baron Corbin, leading to Jinder versus Cena down the road.
Cena gets his 17th.
I think that completely depends on how Ric Flair first, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
like, the
How
nicest
no,
way.
no.
how Ric Flair's.
Because how Ric Flair's. Yeah.
We'll discuss this in the next match with Cena's 17th title.
Because maybe if I don't want to say anything.
Let's
I don't
just,
want to say out.
Predictions for that match. Mahal for me.
I'm going Mahal retaining, but Shinsuke winning via count out or DQ.
Okay, so I think Shinsuke wins. Yeah, Shinsuke wins, but Mahal retains.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So it brings me to the match that's obviously going to close the show. Lesnar, Strowman, Joe, Reigns.
What a headliner!
Yeah.
Oh my
One of the biggest
God.
matches in recent
I'm legit
memory, right?
excited. I am legit excited for this match. So much.
I can't call it.
You can't.
Obviously, I'd rather Braun or Samoa Joe win.
There's a case for all four of them walking out with the
Yeah.
belt.
I wouldn't even be pissed off if Reigns won. Because he's been putting in some great matches recently. And he's not boring. He's a good champion. I'd like to see that. But Samoa Joe isn't getting any younger. And I think if there's ever a time to put the title on Joe before it's too late, now is the time. But on the other hand, I want to see Braun Strowman win that belt more than anything.
Yeah, for me, Strowman is the favourite. He is my guy to win. I doubt it's going to happen. In ranking, I would say I want to see Strowman, then Joe, then Lesnar, then Reigns. I don't think Reigns doesn't need it. Lesnar doesn't need to retain it, but because Heyman teased the whole, if we lose, we're out of here.
That's what I thought.
You know, and as you say, Joe's not getting any younger. He is put over like this ruthless, like, I'm in the shadows. I'm there when you're not expecting it. I'm gonna choke you out. It's like Taz in ECW. He's like just this ferocious, just monster. All he wants to do is just decimate people. Obviously, he's not as big as Lesnar or Strowman, but he you know, arguably had Lesnar's number at Balls of Fire. Like that match was the perfect setup for Joe for this match. That was exactly what Great Balls of Fire's match was. It was the platform for all four of them to look like viable winners. So yeah, it's pick a corner.
It's hard to call.
Pick a corner.
I think Lesnar's going to retain. I want Strowman to win the belt, but I think they're going to save that. But that's why I mentioned Cena in the last match. Are they gearing up for his 17th title reign by beating Reigns at WrestleMania? Because there's been the Twitter teases.
I don't know if I could stand another Reigns headlining Mania match.
It'll be 4 in a row if he does.
Having been to 2 of them in the last 2 years, I'm not sure I can do a third.
With Reigns on the top. With all due respect, what he's achieved is fantastic, and they're clearly shaping him up to replace Cena when Cena steps down. But god damn it, like not even like back in the Attitude Era.
God damn it, motherfucker.
You saw multiple people. Like you saw Rock, you saw Stone Cold, you saw Triple H in the main events consistently in pay-per-views. But there was always a shuffle. There was always something there to, you know, it's just mad to think. Like, at least the storyline kind of justified it. But I guess this could partly be me being salty because of Reigns ending Taker's kind of run, so to speak. Like, as far as we're aware, that's it. He's done. So it's like, what else has he got to achieve at Mania? You know, he's ended.
He's done it. It's time for him to retire, if anything.
It's just,
he's
just. I think there's a Reigns Cena match coming, and I think they're going to save it for WrestleMania.
Is retired the Undertaker. He's a
My
three-time world
only
champion.
thing is,
He's won the Royal Rumble.
Do you have Cena Reigns at WrestleMania, not for a title, just a match, and then have Strowman beat Lesnar clean WrestleMania to become the guy? This is.
You see now.
Which is why I'm predicting Lesnar to keep the belt on Sunday.
Like, Strowman isn't. Them doing that with Strowman is the same thing that they did with Reigns. I mean, like, for me, they pulled the trigger too early. That's why he didn't go over when it was at the Rumble, and they got The Rock to come out and hold his arm up, and everyone booed The Rock.
Because he's organically.
There is a difference. Yeah, there is a difference.
You know?
The fans chose Strowman.
Yeah, that's it. The fans chose Strowman. He wasn't thrown down their necks. The only reason why that worked is because, they really like this guy, but we have our own Superman, so let's put him against our Superman so that they win and we win. because Reigns is always going to be there.
Yeah.
So it was like the best of both worlds. That's why it worked, and that's why what we said earlier. You know, Corbin didn't work on SmackDown because there isn't their guy on SmackDown to elevate people, which is why this like coincidentally leads into my whole thing with AJ Styles siding with Shane McMahon. Suddenly AJ becomes the guy on SmackDown. Then they can start putting people through that machine that they've got that process.
Yeah.
The same way that they've done it with Reigns on Raw, do the same thing on SmackDown with AJ. For me, I would love to see Strowman win. I doubt it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I would love to see Joe win, but I honestly don't think that's going to happen. I love him to bits. I fell in love with him when he was having his feud with Kurt Angle in TNA, when it was like the two of them holding all the gold, and it was like in X Division matches and doing planches over the top rope. You're like, what is this guy? He is a freak of nature. This is insane. You know, he won my heart back then. I'd love to see him hold it on the top the same way that AJ did in SmackDown, but for me, that's not happening.
So, what we're calling it then? I'm going Lesnar.
You're going Strowman.
My heart says Strowman, my head says Lesnar.
Which one do you pick?
My heart, my head. God damn it. Lesnar.
Yeah.
Lesnar.
Yeah. I mean, I would mark out totally for Strowman to win.
I'm going to go for Joe.
It's happening. That's it.
Well, we'll see on Sunday, won't we? And that's our SummerSlam predictions. Let's see what happens on Sunday. Next, let's do our little hot topic. This little discussion that we always have about our wrestling Mount Rushmore.
Right, is this like a personal one?
Personal.
Or is it like
Well,
all
no,
together?
Yeah, should we I think we can all be in agreement about who deserves to be on the wrestling like Mount Rushmore, like collectively. I think we have our own personal ones, but I think we can all collectively agree on a few, like a very small number of people who have been pivotal in making wrestling and sports entertainment what it is today.
Absolutely.
So I think we can all unanimously agree. Well, Vince McMahon.
So is this your?
No. This is me discussing. This is like our agreed. Like we all. I mean, I can go personal.
Okay.
We're going to disagree with this one, aren't we?
Right.
Are we going? Are we going? Should we go personal?
Let's go. Okay, let's start with our personal ones first.
Okay.
But let's name one each as we go around.
Right.
So you name one of yours, you name one, I'll name one, and we go by.
All right.
Go through,
Okay.
yeah? Okay.
All right. So do you want me to start? Or
Go for it,
Start
you
with
go.
your first
Okay.
your personal Mount Rushmore.
My personal Mount Rushmore is Randy Savage.
Oh, that's a good one.
God.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
Is it the fact that you two are like, oh god damn it, that's a good pick. Like, this isn't the draft.
Okay.
That's a good
You
one.
know, it's a given. For me, that's a given. He's.
Right, you go.
Ric Flair. Personal and,
Yeah.
Ric Flair.
Ric
Yeah,
Flair.
that's-
So Randy Savage, Ric
Ric
Flair.
Flair.
I'm gonna add Shawn Michaels to that list.
Oh snap!
So
So you've got three powerful entries.
yeah,
Now that is a triple threat. I would love to see.
I'm interested to see if this, as we go along, we get to more recent wrestlers and which ones we'd pick from recent times, if any.
Yeah.
So who's your second pick?
My second pick is The Undertaker.
That's good as well.
Yeah.
James has just picked one of mine.
Who's your second pick?
Well, no, I can't have him.
Well,
can I?
no,
it's not like you said. It's not a
you
draft.
can't,
You
yeah.
can have it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would also have Undertaker.
Undertaker.
100%.
My second one's Edge.
Nice. Yeah, that's. I did toy. I need to check my list now, to keep it. Yeah. Cool. Am I going next?
Yeah. Go for it.
I had Kurt Angle.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So now, again, you've chose I Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels. Okay.
Yeah. How can you not?
So Shawn's appeared twice. That's good.
Undertaker's
so
appeared
Undertaker's
twice.
appeared twice.
I'm gonna blow your minds with this pick.
Go.
Christian.
Wow.
Wow.
Christian is in my.
That is
Mount Rushmore.
that was an
Very, very
unexpected.
underrated.
He's one of the reasons I watch wrestling today.
Yeah.
What
Future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How Edge and Christian haven't been inducted into the Hall of Fame is beyond me. Like Edge obviously has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christian will go in, he's got to. He's one of the most underrated
Yeah.
performers. And I again, love him. One of my favourites.
Yeah. I like big love
Yeah.
for him. My last one is Mick Foley.
Mick Foley.
Mick Foley.
Yeah.
So do you want to just give us your 4 altogether now? So Mick Foley's your last pick.
Yeah, so just to recap, so I have Randy Savage, Undertaker, Kurt Angle, and Mick Foley.
That's a good list.
My fourth one is my all-time favourite, Triple H.
Triple H.
Triple
So
H.
your 4 together?
Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Triple H.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, for my 4th pick is CM Punk.
Right.
So altogether we've got Edge, Shawn Michaels, Christian, and CM Punk.
So
And
that's what I love, your personal one, because people don't expect you to say Austin, Cena, Flair, Hogan, but your personal one's so much more fun.
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
know.
like I know I mentioned about us all kind of like agreeing on like a universal Rushmore,
Yeah.
but as you say, like narrowing it down to 4, like if you like could expand it, then you have like Vince McMahon because he was the brains behind so much of it. You know,
Andre.
Ultimate Warrior
Yeah.
because of like his drawing power. Like
Yeah.
it's, you know, it goes on and on. Cena.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he be on
Yeah.
there because of his drawing
If you're
power
going
and
back,
what he did?
San Martino,
Yeah, you know, if you really did
depends
want
how
to.
far back
Andre,
you go.
San Martino, Vince,
Philip Kowalski,
Yeah,
there's so many
Yes.
people you can put on there.
Big Daddy, Giant Haystacks,
Yeah.
Just calm down a bit now,
There you go.
right?
Kendo Nagasaki,
Yeah.
Mick McManus.
We're putting Barry Horowitz on there, don't we? Yeah.
Johnny Saint should be on
Johnny
there.
Saint,
Johnny Saint should be on there.
maybe a British one.
I think of all wrestling. But okay, so
But personal ones, I like that.
personal is good.
It shows,
We're all different tastes.
it shows who we admired.
But
And
should we explain a little bit, kind of
You
like
know.
what like our justification?
Yeah,
As
sure.
I feel like that's really
Yeah, yeah,
important because
so-
it's easy to go like, oh, well, this is like my supercard. Basically, like for me, Randy Savage, he was one of my favourites when I first started watching wrestling when I think I was 4. So we're talking like really early 90s. All of the highlights, all of the annuals, and you know like the books and stuff that I used to read about wrestling because I couldn't really watch it that often. It was all like hand-me-downs from my next door neighbour. It was all the stuff from like the late 80s and the very, very early 90s. So it was all Hogan against Macho Man. It was Macho Man against Jay the Snake. It was always Macho Man. And he was considerably smaller, but he had the look. He just stood out. He just like, you could see him from a mile away. He just looked like a pack of highlighters had just exploded in his bag. He was just like, every time he came out, he had the look, he had the in-ring skill. He was that middle ground between a showman, but he had the technical ability to back it up. That elbow drop, as soon as he pointed to the sky, it just boom. You know what's happening. It just the theatrics of it. He got it, and for me, he was the guy that took that 80s style and he brought it up into the 90s. Do you wanna? Shall I carry on, or do you wanna talk about your first?
if you want to carry on, if you've got more to say.
Well, my next pick was The Undertaker. For me, that's pretty self-explanatory. He was been there for me since the you know, day one up until this WrestleMania. You know, it'd be an understatement to say what he has done, like the amount that he's contributed to wrestling.
Yeah.
He has quite literally given his life and his health to wrestling to the point where he's pretty much retired because he can't physically do it anymore.
Yeah.
You know, just an absolute workhorse.
The loyalty.
Yeah, the loyalty.
Yeah.
You know, him and Sting
Yeah.
are you know, pretty much in a world of their own in terms of like their appreciation and understanding of wrestling and their loyalty to working with certain people. My next pick, Kurt Angle, again, I feel is pretty much self-explanatory. The things that he's been through, the fact that he's still here now, he has reinvented himself and he's able to come back to work for the fans who appreciate and love him. Hall of Famer, just absolutely outstanding matches during his career in the Fed and out of the Fed. Just an absolute demon. I think when he was in the Fed, he worked almost 60 pay-per-views straight. It's just untouchable, his work ethic. It's terrifying.
Even Samoa Joe says that. Like, I think he said if you cut off one of Angle's legs, he'd jump twice as high with one leg just to prove that he could do something like that.
It's just it's scary.
A machine.
Yeah.
It's not a gimmick. He's a machine.
He is the wrestling machine.
Yeah.
And then finally, Mick Foley. Ironically, before coming to record this, I was watching the 2000 Royal Rumble at Madison Square Gardens, and the street fight between him and Triple H was one of my first main event matches, and it is one of still my favourite matches of all time. He was the guy that despite his inability to physically work. He could tell a story, and he put his life on the line.
Yeah.
The Hell in a Cell matches that he had, the career maker that he had with Edge at WrestleMania when he got Edge over, and suddenly everyone was like, oh, okay, Edge is a big deal
You're
now.
right, that match did get Edge over.
It's just the amount of things that he's done and the blood, sweat and tears he's given to the business, and yet obviously, sadly, he's decided to step away from the Fed and as a figurehead, and that's where Angle kind of steps in, but it doesn't diminish his contribution to wrestling.
Classy was underrated.
That's a hard one.
Underrated?
No.
No, definitely not. He's in the Hall of Fame, is he not?
Yes.
So he's had multiple world titles.
Do you mean should he
I
have
just
got
feel he
more?
doesn't get the recognition that he deserves.
I think it's
You know.
because, but this is it. It's that
Was it-
separation between and the animosity between like him and Ric Flair, because
Yeah.
Flair is like, well, he's just a stuntman. He's just an idiot. I'm talking from an entertainment perspective. I've got my pure wrestler, Kurt Angle, who is unstoppable. His work ethic is just unmatchable. But then that doesn't detract from Mick Foley as a storyteller and someone who is willing to do what it takes to get the fans invested and to make just the night memorable. You know, I can't even begin to imagine what it must have been like being in the crowd during King of the Ring, 98 with the Taker.
Yeah.
That Hell in a Cell match, that just head exploding. I can't even get my head around what that must have been like, the electricity in that venue. And that's not to like take away from any of his other matches and any of the other high risk things that he's done, but he is known for that spot, and it is one of the most iconic moments in sports entertainment ever.
I can't think of a bigger spot than that.
Other than maybe the body slam to Andre at Mania 3.
Yeah.
It's up. That spot is Rushmore worthy.
Yeah.
When you think of the moments in wrestling that define wrestling,
If the Hall of Fame created a wing for moments,
like clips.
Which would be a really cool idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
it'd be in there. Hogan Andre would be in there. That'd be in there.
Yeah, the cell spot.
The image of Austin.
Corbin cashing in.
Yeah.
Legend
that's
of
it,
all.
yeah.
The image of Austin in the sharpshooter at WrestleMania 13 with the blood.
Yeah, the
on his
blood.
face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
double turned, like
Double
stuff
turned.
like that.
Yeah.
It's just, it's amazing.
Let's
So,
save that for another podcast. Actually.
Yeah,
That's,
sure.
we can talk about
Yeah,
that.
so that for me, that is my Rushmore. That is my reasons why, and yeah, I stick by that.
Jamie.
My turn.
You're up.
Woo!
There he is.
Ric Flair. I mean, when I first started getting into wrestling, it was from my auntie, and I remember watching wrestling in her house, WWF. So I wasn't familiar with Ric Flair until he came to WWF. And as you got older and older, you start watching older things of his NWA and WCW, and he was just the complete wrestler. I just look forward to seeing Ric Flair, the suit, the belt, just everything about him. You know, he lived it. He'd wrestle 60 minutes on a Saturday, fly out to the next town, wrestle 60 minutes twice on the Sunday. He lived it. You know, I wanted to be Ric Flair. You know, to me, he's the greatest wrestler of all time.
No gimmick with Ric Flair.
No gimmick.
Yeah.
It was Ric Flair.
This is why so many like rappers love Ric Flair.
Yeah.
And stuff, because what he spoke about.
Yeah, he
in
was
wrestling.
he was G before G.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Ric Flair, he wasn't a gimmick. It's, you're going to be Ric Flair, and this is what you're going to do.
You're going to be Spartacus.
Yeah, you're
no,
going
I'm
to be
not.
Spartacus.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm Ric Flair.
He was Ric fucking Flair, and he was the reason. He is just the man to me. Undertaker, pretty much what you said. You know, he's just...
Sorry for stealing your heat there.
No, but it's true, man. I mean, how can you not have Undertaker? I can't really say much more because James has covered it, but, you know, he's just a god.
Yeah.
He's a god in the wrestling world. Shawn Michaels, I just believed everything he was doing in that ring.
Yeah.
There's never been a greater seller in that ring, a greater storyteller in that ring. You know, he's getting beat down and you look at his face and you
feel every blow.
everything.
Yeah.
You know, he just looks like he's legit.
His match with...
He wants you to come and help him.
Yeah, he's reaching out.
Yeah.
His match with Hulk Hogan at SummerSlam was just...
For the oversell.
There's nothing oversell there. That was all legit. Hulk Hogan's got fists of cement. It's just,
He must have.
yeah.
But Shawn Michaels, I mean, I cried when he retired. The night after on the Raw, I cried.
Yeah, during the ceremony.
It was like a part of my childhood had gone.
Yeah.
You know, I've grown. You know, Shawn Michaels. I believed everything he did in that ring. You know, I say Ric Flair's the greatest wrestler of all time. Shawn Michaels is the greatest in-ring performer of all time. Ric Flair was everything. He was, you know, he lived that lifestyle. In-ring wise, Shawn Michaels is untouchable.
Yeah. For
me. Triple H, I think it was in the Attitude Era. And I just sort of like, he was just such a badass. Like, yeah, this guy, he's like the next new generation Ric Flair, but with a badass twist on it.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
And he was a heel who could kick your ass. He came out to Motorhead. You know, again with Triple H, I believed that he can go in the ring. It was just something about him drew me into him. And to this day now, he's still my, you know, I wish every week he would come out on Raw still. I died for that music every week.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's just, they're my fault.
No, that's Triple H is a very good pick. I think if I could expand it a little bit further, Triple H would be on mine. But it's
and look what he's done now.
Yeah,
NXT.
It's
you know.
Yeah.
Built NXT.
His contribution.
What I didn't say with Triple H, I love the fact with Triple H is that he's like all of us. He's a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
and he gave us NXT.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which should all be fun.
He's a wrestling fan at heart.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah. You're weird for.
My weird for? It's not weird.
Oh, good though.
It's okay. So Shawn Michaels, again, you've stolen my heat with that one because you believe it. One of my favourite matches ever is Shawn Michaels versus Triple H at SummerSlam 2002.
Oh my god!
Like he'd never been away.
That street fight.
Yeah, the unsanctioned street fight.
Like he'd never been away. 4
Every
years.
Backbreaker Triple H put on him, you saw the pain in his face.
I was terrified. I thought something like legit
Absolutely.
was going to happen.
And when he came back at the Elimination Chamber to win the world title,
Good selling.
I think I was 11 at the time, and I skipped school the next day to watch it because I'd recorded it.
Yeah.
And again, that's one of the matches that got me into wrestling. I was already a fan of wrestling, but that made me love wrestling.
Yeah.
And what can I say? Shawn Michaels is just he is the greatest in-ring performer of all time.
Amen.
Edge, I mean, again, it's very similar to Shawn Michaels. I feel like one of my favourite Shawn Michaels matches was also against Edge. I think Shawn Michaels had a part in building up Edge, so did Mick Foley.
Yeah.
Their feud is fantastic.
Yeah.
But Edge, everything he did, the whole sex and violence thing, the rated R superstar, everything he did, you either hated him or you loved him, but also hated him.
He was the guy you loved to hate.
Absolutely,
He was like
Edge.
Triple H.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You love to hate him.
You love to hate him. He's an absolute bastard. But you think, fuck, he's cool.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's it. Like, I wish I had that life.
Yeah, he had a live sex celebration with Lita on Raw.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would.
I would happily perform live.
Right.
Yeah.
So what can you say about it?
Performance anxiety be damned.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I won't be able to do it. I say who wouldn't want to do it.
If that was my shot at Lita, then I'd
give it a go, but she'd be very disappointed.
I'd humiliate myself completely.
She's saying that Lita has slept with half of my list.
That we know of.
That we know of.
No.
So my third one, Christian. I guess that is an odd choice for Mount Rushmore, but he was just always one of those guys that everything he did, I was glued. I just wanted to listen to him. I thought he's always great on the mic, always delivered in the ring. His gimmicks were always like fairly different to everybody else. Like I suppose he even had a gimmick. It was just Christian.
It played the chicken shit heel.
The chicken shit heel.
It
that was
played
his
it
gimmick.
perfectly.
That's what he did well. And when he beat Booker T for the Intercontinental title back in 2004,
was that on Raw?
Like that.
Raw, yeah. And he'd cut his hair and he looked completely different.
Then it was like it was all about the peeps and
the
he had
peeps,
Tyson
and I was hooked.
Yeah,
absolutely hooked.
Very underrated.
And I guess from the last one, CM Punk, I thought this would appear on maybe one of yours because I feel like CM Punk is one of the biggest names in wrestling history now.
I think in terms of his relevance and his impact in recent years, he's definitely
longest reigning champion.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't think that'll happen for many years to come. I think he'll be the longest reigning for a long time.
We're talking male out because Asuka's already overdone.
Well, I mean, of course, male WWE champion.
Top tier world.
Till they put it on Roman and let him, have an 8-year reign to beat San Martino.
Bring back the long San Martino reigns.
Yeah.
With Reigns at the helm.
Oh my God,
God.
Bring it back to the golden age.
I don't know if I could handle that.
I hope Vincent listening to this because you've just given him an idea.
It is already in his head, believe me.
Yeah.
This isn't Inception.
Yeah.
The idea is already
It's already
there.
in there, yeah. How do we get all the belts on Roman? Every one of them.
Yeah, CM Punk. One of my favourites ever. Watched him since 2002. I
Yeah.
think it was.
Yeah.
One of my first email addresses was secondcitysaints@hotmail.co.uk.
Amazing.
And obviously that was his stable in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And that was in 2002, I think it was.
Yeah.
So he's the first guy that got me into indie wrestling, and I still kind of wish he'd come back. But
Yeah.
I'm not one of these fans chanting CM Punk at the shows.
That annoys me.
That
Never
annoys
say
me.
never, though. Never say never. I personally think he will come back to wrestling, just not WWE. We discussed this.
New Japan.
Leader of the Bullet Club.
Imagine that.
If there was ever anybody
Yeah.
that could pull.
You think how
pull that
powerful
off.
the Bullet Club are now? Punk as the leader. I mean, that would just,
Yeah.
you know, the biggest thing since NWO, since the Hogan heel turn. For me.
Outside of
Love
the
it.
Fed. Outside of the Fed, definitely.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Nice.
should we talk about I guess a universal Mount Rushmore?
Well, I mean, I think we already covered it. Really, it's it's your.
Okay, well you say it.
Okay. Well, I went with Vince because ultimately none of this could have happened without him. Like no matter what association or federation you were a part of, like Vince was the guy that said, "Oh, I have my own roster, but what would be better than just having my own roster? I'll take all the top guys from every other
Yeah.
place, and they will be my mid card. I'm going to take the top talent everywhere."
I agree completely with you.
Monopolising the wrestling game.
Yes.
I do agree Vince
Yeah.
should be on it, but I feel like Vince was the guy who made the Mount Rushmore
He was
opposed
the-
to being on it. He's the guy who chiseled the faces out.
Okay.
No, I agree with Callum on that.
Okay. All right. That's a fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. So Hogan.
Hogan?
Yeah.
Hogan's
Hogan.
on
I
mine.
hate.
Hogan.
I mean, my feelings towards him.
But he created a movement. Hogan,
Yeah.
you know,
He brought wrestling and sports entertainment to the masses.
Yeah.
We might not be sat here talking about
No.
wrestling now if
No.
it wasn't for Hulk Hogan.
Exactly.
No. So
And I personally, I'm a Hulkamaniac, so just throwing it out there,
Each to their own, I guess.
because you two aren't, I yet, but
No.
yeah. So we can all universally agree Hogan.
Hogan.
yes.
I think based on what you've said, Jamie, it's only fair that Flair
Hell
is
yeah.
there.
Hell
Like
yeah.
he was the guy who, for the most part, kept the sport, air quotes, pure. He was the wrestler's wrestler.
He was the Hogan of that era, but who could wrestle.
Yeah, he was the wrestler's wrestler. The
Yeah.
casual fan soaked into Hulk Hogan,
Yeah.
but Ric Flair was the guy that Four Horsemen. He's the heel that can back it up. He was Eddie Guerrero before Eddie Guerrero. He was the dirtiest player in the game with the eye pokes and the low
Yeah.
blows and the pizzazz and the showmanship and that I'm so much better than you instead of Hogan, who was the gladiator for the everyman. Like
Yeah.
Flair was the opposite. Look at me. Look at everything that I do. He was the perfect.
Hogan was a cartoon character.
He was. But
Yeah.
Flair was that guy who you used to go to school with, who when he married the prom queen, he got the job you always wanted. He has the nice house, the nice car, he has everything that you ever wanted.
And he liked to tell you about it.
Oh
Yeah.
God! And as he drives past you, he flips you the bed. Like he's that guy because to him, life is a game and he's winning.
Mm-hmm. I love that description actually.
Bit like Bobby Roode now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And that's why I've got so much time and appreciation for Bobby Roode
Yeah.
because he's starting to bring that old school mentality back.
Yes.
Because we could go on for ages about that kind of stuff, but
I'm old school. I mean, I love Bobby Roode.
I think that's why we can all appreciate the revival
Yes.
as well. And it's this
It's like the
hardback-
Brainbusters.
Yes, exactly,
Yeah.
and that's why I had so much time for American Alpha was because it was the Steiners.
Yes.
That kind of hardback to look at this thing that's separate. There's no bleed over in styles or techniques. Everybody has a look. Everybody has a style. You can see them from a mile off. Like it's easier for little kids to look and they go, I like the guy that wears the yellow because he's the Superman, and I like the guy in this colour who looks like this because he does this. You know,
Yeah.
you can easily tell the characters apart. It's the Avengers. It's the Marvel universe of wrestling. That's what they're doing. Everyone is separate. Everyone has their superpower.
Yeah.
On saying that, who would be number 3?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
It's
Boom, right there.
this is a really hard one for me because I feel like we'll all say the same one for the last one, but this to me is either Stone Cold or The Rock.
Stone Cold.
I love The Rock on the mic, but Stone Cold, biggest draw, like
Ever.
over Hogan.
Yeah. Ever.
Yeah.
Over Hogan.
He was the reason. He's the reason WWE is still here.
Attitude Era.
Yeah.
The double turn against Bret Hart.
Yeah.
The feud against McMahon. His triple, his trilogy against The Rock.
Yeah. For me, Rock needed Austin. Austin didn't need Rock.
Yeah. It pains me to say it, but I agree 100%.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Austin over The Rock.
Austin over The Rock, but I wouldn't say by much.
I'll give you
I
that.
wouldn't say by much.
Well, the
because
Rock has proven that he has staying power now
Yeah.
because of
The
everything
Rock
that happened.
left WWE when he was 30. He didn't even reach his potential prime.
No.
So that says how big The Rock could have been.
Yeah.
But I guess if we're going by who was bigger, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as much as you don't want to bring it up, you do have to take into consideration The Rock left to go do his thing in Hollywood. He was able to come back in good health and put on 2 pretty decent matches and a title run against Cena, Punk. He had another run.
And his 3-second match against Eric Rowan.
Exactly. Show stealer.
Oh, hell yeah.
Boom. Stone Cold, unfortunately for me, the whole taking his ball and going home thing has tarnished his legacy, so to speak, because it does make you wonder what would have happened if they could have sorted out money and scheduling and all that kind of stuff. But again, that all stems from like the lingering thing of his neck injury with Owen Hart. But we wouldn't have necessarily have got the bruiser, the brawler, the guy that just wants to stomp a mud hole in you. He would have been a very, all hail the ringmaster. It's not necessarily the same outcome if that injury hadn't happened. So there is a lot of ifs and buts. But for me, Stone Cold.
Hell yeah.
I'll say this: can you ever hear if someone smashes a glass at a pub?
I can't.
You can't not hear Stone Cold's theme
No.
music.
Absolutely not.
There's the smashing glass. When somebody pauses, when a heel pauses during a promo, you get what?
Yeah.
Everybody still wears Austin 316 shirts. Sheamus parodied the Austin 316 shirt.
Austin made it cool to be a wrestling fan. You want a shame to go to school and talk about wrestling instead of a wrestling fan.
I like Stone Cold Steve Austin. He flips people the bird.
Yeah.
He beats up his boss. It was,
It's what everyone likes to do back then, and I guess some people still do. So it's
Yeah.
why he's still cool nowadays.
Exactly.
Whenever he comes back out, people still cheer for Stone
Oh,
Cold.
hell yeah. So, number 4. I think we're all agreed on this one, aren't we? Because if you, to be honest with you, put him
Should
on,
we all say it at the same time?
well, you put him on the Mount
No,
Rushmore.
we all say it at the same time. Don't
Okay.
say anything else. Ready?
Alright.
3, 2, 1. John
Go
Cena.
down,
Why did I
sorry.
trust you?
It's what, you're not believers?
No, he'd be number 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can all agree on that.
All right. Okay. So Cena.
Cena?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's got to be
John
Cena, right?
Yeah. It goes without
John
saying.
Cena. He's your modern day Hulk Hogan, but better.
I think that. Yeah, I was gonna say that's a
Yeah.
massive insult to Cena.
Yeah. He.
As in like the superhero
Yeah.
gimmick for the kids and all that,
Yeah. I like the guy in the jorts. If we're going
Yeah.
back to the kid analogy, I'm a little kid. I'm pointing to, just so that the listeners can understand. I'm pretending to be a little kid. I'm hunched over. I'm pointing a lot. Look, it's the guy in the jorts with the cap and the cum rag that he throws to the crowd. Yeah, he again, like what you say, he's the cartoon character. He's the supporter of the blue collar everyman.
Yeah.
He's from a working class background. He fought hard to get to where he is. As much as it was leading up to him tying with Flair for the number of world championships, I can't think of another person who deserves to even come close.
Yeah.
It's a shame that some of those have been like quick turnarounds, like with him and Orton and stuff like that. But ultimately, to even get numbers like that, you have to have had stuff like even Flair. Some of those numbers are sketchy. 24-hour turnarounds and stuff like that. but it doesn't detract from the amount of work he's put in. He's made more dreams come true through Make-A-Wish than any other.
Oh, what he does outside of the business, yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
He's Hulk Hogan without the scandals.
Yeah.
That's it. You strip away everything outside of the sports entertainment industry.
And he gets to nail Nikki Bella.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. It's basically he learned from the mold of Hulk Hogan, and he went, oh no scandals.
Yeah.
No racism. No sex tapes. None of that.
See, I never wanted Flair's record to be beaten, but if anyone's going to beat it, I think Cena's the man that deserves to do it.
His contribution to wrestling is...
He's going to go down for the greatest of all time, isn't he?
Yeah.
He really is.
And like everyone in their own kind of respective kind of places, you know, Flair's got, as of kind of recently, had the most World Championship reigns. Austin, biggest drawer, next to Cena, I don't know where it stands now, obviously, but over Hogan, 3-time Royal Rumble winner.
Yeah.
Hogan headlined the first 4 WrestleManias.
Yeah.
You know, like they all just have accolades coming out of their ears. It's ludicrous the things that they've done and the star power that they had. So, you know, obviously there's other people that you could interchange. We have our own personal ones, but I feel like it's almost a unanimous.
Yeah.
Ric Flair, Hogan, Stone Cold, John Cena.
Yeah. I don't think you can argue with that.
That's...
I'd give an honorary mention to like Andre the Giant.
I mean, it'd be cool if we could get the listeners to tweet as well.
Yeah.
OneFallPod.
Yeah.
Give us your suggestions.
Well, on that bombshell, do you want to tell our listeners our social media details?
Sure. Twitter, OneFallPod, or email onefallpod@gmail.com. If you've got any suggestions or want to give us your Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. And we also have our personal Twitter accounts. I'm the OWCW.
Palace of Wisdom.
I don't know if you have one.
I'm on all social media as Roman Oyster, which is my gamer tag. So,
is there anything else you want to plug, guys?
Do you want to give a shout out? You've got some.
I'm part of a Let's Play YouTube channel called Gamers Assemble. So you can find us on all social media and on YouTube as Gamers Assemble, where you can see me. Not see me, but you can hear and watch me be a bumbling idiot while I try and play video games with my friends.
Anything, Jamie?
I'm technophobe, so no.
Well, I'm good as well. So, is that everything for this week?
That's it for this week. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
See you next time, guys.
Peace.